Alrighty, we're gonna give this a few seconds here because it's gonna need it in order to actually, buffer in everything else. For everyone that's gonna be seeing this later, though, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Buffer in everything else. Jesus. Okay, I think it's working this time. There. No, it's coming back now. Yeah, sorry about that. And for everyone that's gonna be seeing this in the future, there, and for the people that have already showed up. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Richard True, and today we are here with the new single-player Hoi 4 stream. Haven't had the chance to do that before, just me and the guys watching here. I think it'll be pretty fun. So, sorry for the initial trouble with getting things going here, but I'm going to give it a little time and make sure I got everything set up correctly. Should be fine, though, relatively speaking. But anyway, how you guys doing in the chat there? It's been a pretty interesting weekend for me here. Sorry I couldn't make the community game yesterday. I already put up the reason why in the Discord, but I figured that, it'd be fun to do this today, so looking forward to that. Actually, let me check something here. Okay, seems like everything is working correctly, so let's... Oh, the stream on YouTube is being weird? Ah, okay. Alright, thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. And I'll check quickly on YouTube here, just to make sure. Hey, what's up, Ringnar? How you doing? Don't need that right now. Hey, how you doing, Plain Boy? And hello, Nightgram and the First French Republic. Good to see you guys. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'm just looking through here. What are we doing? Actually, that's very simple. We're going to be doing a single-player Hearts of Iron 4 stream. I'm just making sure that everything's working on the actual stream itself because some people mentioned there was an issue with YouTube. Oh, goddamn. Apparently there's an issue on Twitch where my bitrate's too high, so let me just change that quickly. Unfortunately, I never get the updates about this until after it goes live. So I have no way of knowing if everything's... Yeah, I was actually kind of looking forward to Black Ice myself, but unfortunately, Hearts of Iron 4 base game won out when I checked it at 6 o'clock, so that's what we're going to be rolling with. But what I will do, as a last thing here, yeah, there was a poll that I put up in the Discord. The new rig is getting set up tomorrow. I got a friend of mine, Rob, coming over. You know Rob. He's going to be giving me a hand getting that together, and we're going to take that from there. And, oh, dude, it's going to be so nice. I'm looking forward to it. But, what was I going to say? So, yeah, we're going to do some single-player Hearts of Iron 4 here. And I wanted to know what you guys think I should do for country here. I got plenty of, ideas in mind here, but I'm more interested in what you guys would actually be interested in seeing here. So, put in your chat what you think I should play here. Can be any country in the world. Except for probably Switzerland, just because I don't feel like playing that. You were just playing the Raj? Oh, nice. Actually, the Raj is pretty fun, especially if you have someone lend-leasing you. Actually, I was just asking you guys what country you think I should go with here, because, honestly, I can go with pretty much anything. Otherwise, if no one has any ideas, I'm just gonna go with something myself here. And yeah, by all means, join the Discord. We got a lot of good people over there. They run games on occasion, so do I. It works out. Bhutan. Well, it could be worse. Turkey. I like Turkey. Turkey's actually really fun. It can, let's see here. Papa Stalingrad. Yeah, the Soviet Union could be really entertaining. That is true. The Drunk Irish. I've never played Ireland. That's right up there with Bhutan. I've never played Bhutan or Ireland, and probably for a reason. Hey, how you doing, Thomas Bainbridge? Glad to see you. Do China. Oh, I don't know, because China tends to go one of two ways. Either you're sitting there in 1943 with an impenetrable trench line because you set up fortresses everywhere, and then, you know, eventually the Japanese run out of people and then you kill them. Or, you know, you use paratroopers, get behind them, and then cut off large sections of the army. Democratic Germany. Ooh, that's interesting. Never done Democratic Germany. Alright, anyone else on Democratic Germany? Nightgram, you voted for that too. You know what? We might actually do that. What, Yep, let's do it. Alright, we'll turn off historical AI focuses. We'll let everyone, just do whatever. And... Yeah, you know what? We'll go, veteran here. And let's delve right into it. Whenever I do that again, invaded by the Soviet Union. Yeah, it kind of goes with the territory, honestly, if you're going to be doing it. But let's do it. Unfortunately, I don't have any rules, so I'm just going to see what I can do with it here. But let's get things started off here. We're going to set our first national focus. We're probably going to start by remilitarizing the Rhineland. And let's get the extra infantry equipment. We'll start building some tanks, motorized, and this is just what I do generally anytime I play them here. That was your first game too? Oh, that's gotta be rough. Out of curiosity, did you play back before the what do you call it? The first DLC? Because I started with vanilla, and yeah, I had a similar experience the first time I played Germany. Where I got invaded by the Soviet Union as well. But I didn't go democratic, I stayed fascist. Ask Austria if they want Anschluss. If they don't, leave them be. Well, actually, that's what part of what I was thinking there. I'm just going to abuse the fact that I'm fascist up until I finally do convert. And then from there, I'm going to see what I can do about being democratic, basically. No, don't want that. Okay, so we actually have 3 people that voted Democratic Germany ultimately, so you know what? That works out then. That's not very democratic. Well, we're not a democracy yet, technically, so I feel a little less constrained on that one, in all fairness. It'll be interesting, though, because you're going to end up with, and I've never done it before, but yeah, I am shift-clicking. I try. I really do. But it'll be interesting, because we may very well end up with, like, a democratic alliance going up against the Soviet Union, since I can go democratic, leave the Axis, because I'm just going to disband that faction more likely than not, and then join the Allies. And that could be really entertaining. That's my thought process right now, at the very least. So, we're going to move a little bit faster here. In the meanwhile, there are a few other things I need to do, which basically just consists of disband the Air Force and reform it. What if the Little Entente forms? That could be a little bit awkward. I'd probably end up going with France over Britain if that came up. That's just me personally. Oh, we're missing chromium. Alright, so Turkey. Turkey works. I should join the Little Entente. I'm actually inclined to agree with that one. We need the camel. Production license the Great War era frickin' planes there. That could be kind of funny. Start mass producing the camel. That could be pretty fun. And let's get some convoys en route here. We're gonna start building those up. And how are we looking on that national focus? Rhineland is almost ticked through, so we'll have that. You have the bread jokes. Oh my god. Yep, sop with camel. Always a camel. It's the only camel you can trust, I'll tell you that right now. Let's get some planes set up here. I'm thinking wings of 200. That's pretty much what I do for everything unless it's naval fighters. just because it makes life a lot easier for me. And we're gonna go with Reich's Auto. No. We're gonna go with Army Innovation. We're gonna go down that line because I want to get the benefits before we end up going fascist ultimately. And hey, Bear Truth, how you doing? And let's train up all the infantry divisions that we can. Oh, and let's set them to be highest priority. You need to go Boons Republic Focus. Okay. Oh, the Spanish Civil War came about. Since we're going to be going democratic, I feel like we should contribute something to the cause here. Let's put together our own little expeditionary force under Erich von Manstein. I always go with him just because he has more benefits than the other guys there. We're going to send volunteers to the Republicans. No one will see it coming. Should ally Poland. That's actually not a bad idea. I always go back and forth as to whether or not it's better to like puppet or ally Poland versus just annex them outright for the factories. But it's definitely not a bad idea. And let's see here. We have a democratic reformer. There we go. We're going to do this. We don't need benefits. We have... I don't know what we have. You're not wrong. Hey, what's up, is that Katak? Katak? I can't tell if that's a T or an F. I'm from America, personally. But, hey, good to meet you. Glad to see you. And they refuse my volunteers for real? Oh, those rat bastards. You're right, because they're hostile to me. Oh, man. Well, I don't want to miss out on the army experience. I guess I'll have to send them to Franco. Oh, well. Don't puppet factories count as your own? No, not necessarily. It depends on the level of puppeting that you have, the level of subject that they are. But it's not impossible. What are you planning on doing this game as Germany? We are going to go democratic, and we are going to rid the world of the communist menace as we join the Americas. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. But yeah, we are going to rid the world of communism and prop up the democratic values of the Western world. At least, you know, that's the plan. You know, we'll see how it goes from there. They can't feed your troops because they're communist. That is true. They are communists more so than they are democratic. So, you know what? We could, when we go finally democratic, we could boost democracy inside of Franco and then flip him that way. Better dead than red. Oh my god. I suggest you take all of Europe and puppet Russia and then give them Asia unless you want to ally Japan. Well, that's the thing, Stalin. We're actually going democratic, so we plan on allying most of the democratic countries over here. So, you know, not really going to be as much of an issue. And let's go for... Yeah, we'll start going down that. Alright. Plenty of people fighting over here. Let's go attack some planes. I really do hate the frontline system, personally. It's the only thing that it gives me is a massive attack and defense bonus. Well, actually attack bonus more so than anything. I have a feeling you will stomp the USSR. It's actually not impossible. I mean, I've already played the UK and won against a combined, you know, USSR, Germany playthrough, so it's not impossible, per se. It's not hard to fight AI Russia as Germany. Yeah, it depends. For the most part, it really isn't, especially if you have any idea what you're doing. Most of the time, I don't, which is the only reason why it gives me any problems here, but to be entirely honest with you, I'm not expecting any major issues from it. It's all a matter of timing, though. You know what? We're just going to go right for Madrid. You are not cutting me off. They cut me off, those rat bastards. I thought I was going to get there in time, but it's alright. Sure would really have to fuck it up to lose. You're pretty right on that one. If the little Entente doesn't form, just create your own and call it something like the German Entente. I would want to join the Allies if possible, and I might be able to force France into the Allies anyway without the little Entente forming, just based on the fact that I exist. Honoring the fallen is the duty of every red-blooded American. Oh, you're not wrong. If France goes commie, then it's not bread jokes, but baguette shortages. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be good news for us. 999. I always enjoyed Inglourious Basterds. That was a pretty awesome movie. I was actually just watching something from Wisecrack earlier about the meaning behind, or not the meaning, but the hidden meaning behind Django Unchained, which really is not that hidden. Quentin Tarantino is a very, very blatant director. If you don't know what he's talking about, it's because you have no idea about cinematography. Little Entente forms because of German claims, right? Not necessarily. If I recall, let me take a look here. Little Entente is somewhere on here. It's a focus. Ah, here it is. So after support the status quo, they can either go with Britain or form their own. And in terms of the weight between the two there, as far as I know, it can be a coin flip in essence. I'm not 100% on it, but that's always been my understanding of it at the very least. Also, we're still in the middle of fighting here, so let's take care of that first here. Oh, they're actually doing some damage to us. Well, no worries. Yeah, historical focuses are off because I'm going Democratic Germany. It felt like the right thing to do. So what are you playing? Germany, but what ideology or goal do you have? Hello, by the way, Drites. Good to see you. We're going Democratic Germany, and the idea is going to be to rid the world of communism. So, I think it's going to be really fun. Will you do a Stellaris live stream? The community stream I actually have on Fridays. I had to cancel it this week because, well, specified reasons that I'd rather not talk about. But basically, every Friday there is a weekly stream, community stream that takes place with people joining in and such. And this time around we're doing Stellaris. I tend to flip around the different Paradox games there, like we did Hearts of Iron 4 initially, then we finished that one, now we're on to Stellaris. After that, it's probably going to be Europe Universalis 4, and then continuing on from there. And so, in short, yes. As far as a single-player live stream, it's not impossible. I was actually working on something special for the next time I can do something like this, but it's going to take a little while. In capitalist America, you break law. In Soviet Russia, law breaks you. Oh god, I love it. Are you going to fight other democratic nations after you beat the commies? I don't think so. I'm not 100% on that. I couldn't say for sure yet. I see. So an early Cold War type situation. Yeah, basically, the Cold War goes hot. Actually, there was a scenario in a couple different situations. Oh, Jesus. Every time. Alright, after he takes them out, we'll move back and take care of this cutoff here. Just take care of that. Don't worry, if you take out communism, no bread will be lost. Yeah, they would have had to have some in the first place. Hello, Baron. Good to see you. I don't know why, goddammit, in this particular situation, other than... Wow, for God's sakes. I'm getting rid of this front line here. It's not really doing me any favors anyway. When I finally get my new computer, we switch to a game I don't have. It's okay. We'll be going back to it. No worries. We need to get around to here and just break these guys out. Will you release all nations? Not impossible. I don't think I can release every nation, but I will try to flip every government to democratic. I think that's a reasonable stretch goal there. And when the bread lines stretch across all Siberia. Oh my god. Well, encirclements are not necessarily the easiest thing in the world when you only have 2 tank divisions. But I am about to pull these guys off. And also, in all fairness, you know, I got this. No worries. Most Eastern... Oh, by the way, encirclement. There we go. Can be done. Most Eastern Russian lands celebrated the German occupation and even retreated with the Germans sometimes. It's a very complex situation. I have read up on it a fair amount there, but there's a little bit more to it than that, per se. Yeah, I was going to say change governments. You conquer the Dem. You conquer 2 Dem. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I figured that I'm not going to personally own additional territory other than the focuses. I'm instead going to try and basically flip everyone to democratic that I physically can. No excuses, true. Yeah, I accept full responsibility. I'm slacking. A little rusty. What can I say? When the Chinese come in to assist the Red Army, you know it's going to happen. Unless... No, actually, it might not. We are going to have to fight the fascists later on, because I'm not going to be fascist, and I got to flip them all. But we will have to go over and take down the... what do you call it? We're going to have to go over and take down the Japanese fascists at some point in time. Oh, thank God they're actually coming in to take care of the line behind me here. No, mi Repubblica Comunista. Oh, I love it. It's great. The thing is, some countries will turn back to fascist or communist even after you change government after winning a war, such as the case with Austria, Italy, and Hungary. Well, one of those won't exist, and the other two will just have to keep our army nearby in order to make sure. Gotta flip them all. It's like Pokemon. Just note that Shrew attempted to send volunteers to one country, but they said no, so we sent volunteers to their enemy. That's how it works, man. You don't turn me down. Bad things happen. Play the desk mod. I have to check that out still. I haven't heard too much about it. I wonder how quickly the invasion of fascist Italy will be over. That's a good question. I don't imagine it's going to be that difficult. You know, their pasta troops aren't going to really do much in order to hold me back here at this point. I feel like the Ethiopians are going to be a little bit more difficult to go after, assuming that they're even alive after the Italian War. Gibraltar Espanol. Oh, God. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was mentioning earlier, there was actually the possibility of Germany working with the Allies prior to World War II and in the early days of Hitler's ascension there to actually take on the Soviets. And, you know, it didn't end up panning out for a number of different reasons. But it's entirely possible that Germany could have ended up working with the Allies and going against the Communists at some point in time. Use Space Mountaineers against them. You're not wrong. What do we got here? We have guys that are ready to finally come out. So let's get them on out. How are we looking here? Oh, we've nearly taken them. They've tossed on a lot of guys. Alright, you know what? Clearly we need to focus on this one, get that pocket fixed, and take it from there. The voice crack. Yeah, my voice cracks every once in a while. My bad. There was a mod that renames Democratic Germany... Oh, God. Yeah, there's nothing charged about that whatsoever. Sometimes during a Democratic Germany playthrough, Austria, Hungary, and Italy will actually team up against you. Oh, leadership purchase in the Soviet Union. Nice. If that happens, you could just let them enter the meat grinder on the Austrian border and then go clean them up. Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. I went for the right one, right? Yeah, Army Innovations. We're going to get some really nice tanks here, guys. That's the plan. Why does everyone hate communists? I have no major opinion on that. No worries. Alright, we're going to take these guys out of the equation. Don't be discouraged if you're not getting a lot of viewers. You're super nice and super entertaining. Thank you, man. That actually means a lot. I really appreciate that. My viewership has been a little bit down since I started off, but it's okay. You know, I have fun doing it, and the people that do watch are really awesome. So it means a lot, and I really appreciate that. Shrew, get your Avanti on. Italy is coming. Oh, God. You know, it would have been very nice if I could have fought the Italian volunteers inside of the Spanish Civil War here, but nah. Republican Spain had to be all communists and be like, we don't want these German tanks to come help us out. And now, they're going to lose Madrid. And they're going to feel really stupid for it. Change ideology. I'm working on it. Right now I have a democratic reformer that's going on. What's the Spanish Civil War looking in losses? Well, let me set this research up and then I will show you. So, current losses are 30,000 to 80,000. You could almost think that the Republicans have a chance, but they really don't. Communists, the mass murderers that got away. That is why people hate them. I'd say that's a little bit charged, but I understand where you're coming from. Let's see what else we could do here. Let's step up our... no, we want to step up our planes. Get that going. What's the goal for this series? We're actually going to be playing Germany, going democratic, and then trying to turn the world democratic. Starting with the Soviet Union. And the other, you know, major players there. I shouldn't say starting with. Primarily, we want to make sure that all the majors have been, you know, overthrown, democracy reigns supreme, and especially that the communists have been taken care of. The Italians are coming. Oh my God. Yeah, the Italians are like the last bastion of fascism in, you know, Europe here. So we throw them out. Well, actually, I shouldn't say the last. You know, second to last, but that's, you know, beside the point here. Hey, what's up, Glaswegian Gamer Official? Glad to see you. Think about the Soviet Union as they never got the point of socialism, much less communism. Yeah, I would argue that by the time of Stalin, they were thoroughly authoritarian. Actually, to be totally honest with you, I would argue by the time that Lenin took power in the first place, they were authoritarian, and the idea of any sort of, you know, Marxian state there was just non-existent. You could argue the practical necessities of it, but I would say, you know, they were never a communist state. They were just an authoritarian, you know, dictatorship of the party. Watch the USA somehow go comedy. That would just be hell. That would be absolute hell at that point, trying to evade them. Richard, when's the Hey, thank you for following. I really appreciate that. When's the Stellaris game continuing? Next Friday. It would have continued this Friday. I had a situation pop up that I'd rather not talk about, and I do apologize. I had to basically cancel for this week here, because, yeah. There's a huge difference between Stalinism and Marxism. In a lot of ways. I mean, Marxism... Old school Marxism is still very violent in general. I mean, it's all about, you know, violent revolution and the proletarian vanguard and that sort of thing there. But overall, I'd say that as a, you know, as the construction of a state goes, it's completely... Hey, thank you for subscribing, Balint Uncle. Really appreciate that. Do I stream Hoi 4 frequently? It depends. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that, David. And basically, I stream it often enough. I got a fair amount of series I've done for Hoi 4. It's been really fun. But right now, I have a multiplayer stream I'm doing with the Balls of Iron guy there, Wubson. He's a pretty nice guy there. So, I've been working with him. Then I have this, which is a single-player stream. I've been wanting to do that for some time. And, yeah, a couple other things. Oh, I missed some comments here. Sorry. You were better off sending 100,000 unarmed Germans rather than 1 million Italian soldiers. Ooh, that's gonna bring some heat. And appreciate it, Nightgram. All right, Shrew mate. Yeah, it's going pretty good. Shrew needs to get good. I really do. Have my volume kind of loud? Did that not? Sorry about that. I need to mess with the sound a little bit, I guess. When the bourgeoisie asked what happened. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. That's actually really awesome of you. When the bourgeoisie asks what happened to all the means of production. Trotskyism shall take over the world. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll be able to drive Trotskyism out of both Spain, Russia, and pretty much everything else from there. Gotta go, but might be back around 900. Okay, good seeing you, Dominic. Thanks for stopping by. Soviets will not resist. Once they see the freedom of democracy, they will bow to your knees. Oh, yeah, that sounds like the lead-up to Iraq all over again. Yeah, I'm only American. I have no context for that. Shrew, are you going to do a Hoi community game soon? It depends, because right now I have a Stellaris community game, and then going to be going through the rotation and then coming back to Hoi 4 after we finish that. Oh, shit. Hey, thank you, Seether. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. I can't, unfortunately, see your text. I actually need to fix that. I am very sorry. Yeah, I don't know why the text on there is so small. For the longest time, I thought no one was actually saying anything. But yeah, now I see that it's just incomprehensibly small to me on my screen there. So sorry about that. Freedom can only be achieved through blood, and one day the people no longer tolerate the rich class and they will revolt. It's a little bit more complicated than that, I'd say. What movie scene is that from subbing? That is actually not a movie. That's from, ironically enough, the, Battlefield 1. The Battlefield 1 promos. But, I thought it was a really good scene. You know, Cavalry Charge with plane. I could use that in pretty much anything. It's pretty great. IDK Last Hoy community game was after the 1v1. No, it was actually before the 1v1. But after we go through the rotation of other Paradox games there, we're going to come back to Hoi 4. I thought about doing a Hearts of Iron 4 only community game once a week, but that didn't work out as planned, so I just kind of tossed that to the side. I'm still learning all this, so I do apologize. But I'm doing what I can. We'll go with Reichsbahn. I hope Catalonia gets independence. Let's see what we can do about that. Oh, it said democratize Daddy Stalin. Oh, you know it. You know it. His days are numbered. May as well just go democratic and hang himself at this point. Oh yeah, we're going to have a lot of democratic babies. A lot of countries are going to be switching ideologies fairly soon here. Yeah, I could understand if you're tired there. Kind of goes with the territory, unfortunately. What else do we have here? Oh, no cursing. Oh my god. I mean, you know, it's not that I have, you know, like an intensely, you know, racy stream here in the first place, but I think I'm allowed to say, you know, fuck or something like that. You know, it's not that big a deal. Is it just me or am I the only one who thinks World War I was more interesting than World War II? I actually think both are pretty interesting, but lately I've been on a bit of a American Civil War kick. It's a really unique conflict for me personally. Build a wall against the non-democracies, be a Trump. Oh, God. Oh, hey, thanks, Glaswegian Gamer Official. That's really awesome of you. I really appreciate that. I honestly, like, anytime someone donates, I'm just like, oh, shit, thank you. Because, yeah, I have no real expectations of it, so thanks. Once people see through the lies of the media and the liberals, they will once again gain true free thought and realize who truly oppressed they are and overthrow the upper class. Yeah, you seem to have a personal stake in this overthrowing of the other ideologies here, pal. Do you quit the game if the common turn takes the U.S.? No. I'm going to play this out to the bitter end, quite frankly. Yeah, I watched the Civil War videos. Hey, glad to hear it. You know, honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with that game. It's been really cool to check that out. And ironically, I'm not terrible at it. I haven't lost a battle yet. I say very hesitantly because I've drawn a few and I haven't won every day of a battle, but still won the overall. But yeah. Heard Webson is getting his admins to get lists of when people can play community games, so hopefully that leads to more chill games. Not impossible. You have to see how that one plays out, but if that works for him, I might look into something similar. I've lately been following World War I because it's sort of a war that exists out of time because it's radically different from everything before it. Sorry, I'm trying to kill off these guys here. Plus, it laid the foundation for a modern world, even though World War II has influenced it more because it was more recent. I wouldn't say that one has more influence than the other. I do understand where you're coming from in terms of being radically different there. I've always been rather interested in the sort of misconceptions about World War I. Like the idea that people are charging in... am I planning on this being a long stream? Relatively. Probably around 4 hours. That's what I try to go for typically. And I got the thing down in the corner so I can keep track of the time. But yeah, I mean, I've always felt that it's a bit, what do you call it? Misunderstood in terms of, you know, how people really view the war there. I could go on this for some time here, but I want to catch up on the other comments. I already know where the Wall of Nations is being born. Oh my god. The Civil War videos are awesome. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun with them. So, it's been really cool. I got them lined up for all next week. Those are already recorded, so it's going to be a good time. You should just kill Mussolini because you already know he's going to lose. Well, if he's already going to lose, I don't have to kill him. He'll just do it to himself there, you know? Or some group of partisans will find him in the countryside and take care of it for me because, you know, I'm not going to be there to bail his ass out of prison. Sure, will you give them the Gustav? Yeah, probably. We could get the cannon lined up and take some pot shots at the guys there, I think. How are you, mate? Oh, hey, Jim Bob. How you doing? I think World War I is interesting because there really was no defined bad guy like in World War II. That it was like the second modern war if you count the American Civil War. Well, there's a couple others I would toss in that we typically don't necessarily look at, like the Franco-Prussian War and a couple others there. The American Civil War is interesting because it was the last Napoleonic-style war, and really deadly because of it. That's what I've always found really interesting about it. And in terms of there being a bad guy in World War I versus World War II, it's also fair to say that, you know, the propaganda has a lot to play with it, but the situation's more complex in World War II, I would argue, than World War I. You can say World War II is more influential since World War I is what led to World War II. They're both important. I wouldn't argue one's more than the other. I would just say that they're different. You know, and I have an interest in pretty much a broad spectrum of history. So, you know, I find them equally, you know, interesting there, just on different playing fields, if that makes sense. Like, you know, there's so many ways that... Oh, what do you think about the rise in support for monarchies to be restored to the throne in countries such as Russia, Germany, and Austria and France? When did that come about? Is that a recent thing? Because I haven't heard anything about that. Spam the Wall of Nations in chat. Oh my god. Don't spam anything, but I get the idea. I think the most influential war is the war I have with the... Oh my god. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you from India there. I'm gonna try and pronounce this here. So it's Bulks Nemeth? Nemeth? I apologize if I butchered that, but, you know, I figured I'd at least, you know, give it a try. But good to meet you. I'm from America. We're getting these guys here. They're already split off. You know, it's not going to take too much longer. We're just collecting the army experience, getting veterancy for these guys. Assassinate the king of pizza, and it's, oh my god. And what else do we have here? There we go. They join the Allies. We got this, guys. Let's go for the air. I've never seen one of your videos before. Why are you my recommended? And what are we talking about as of now? Oh, good to meet you too, Nuclear Trinity. And as to why I'm in your recommended, I honestly have no idea. I appreciate you checking out the video at the very least, or the stream I should say. What are we doing as of right now? We are taking Germany. We're trying to go democratic, and we're going to try and flip the world democratic. Although right this second, what we're doing is farming army experience, both in here and on the guys. So this way, we're going to be better off when we go to actually, you know, do other stuff there. There's been whispers of factions in the mentioned countries wanting the monarchy back. I would be very impressed if any of those countries actually tried to get any sort of monarchy back into place, because there's next to no living members left. Like, who are they going to bring on? You know, Willie the pizza guy from the Wilhelm family? You know, what are they going to do? Man, gonna be honest, I hope monarchist nations come back. I was never really big on the monarchies, quite frankly. I think democracies are an interesting form of government. You know, a lot more dynamic. I don't think Russia will get the Tsar back, as people have been told the Tsar was a bad guy. I don't think that they're going to get the Tsar back, because who are they going to bring back? Like, that's the biggest problem with the idea of bringing back a monarchy. They'd just have to have, like, a lottery system and then be like, okay, that's the royal family. You know, the Gubachevs down the street end up winning Tsardom for life, or Tsardom for 6 generations. Putin will be the self-proclaimed Tsar. Yeah, that's actually not impossible, but I feel like instead he's just going to go for, like, you know, dictator ad infinitum. You know, some kind of infinite power situation, but the guy switches around positions whenever he needs to anyway, so it's not like it's gonna do anything. Hooah. Yeah, sounds about right. Which are there? What'd I miss? I knew there was a couple others. Who would win? Hundreds of years of political and diplomatic development and relations in Europe versus some random archduke dying. Oh, God, I love it. I expect in real life Germany will collapse in the next 100 years. 100-year run for a country ain't too bad these days, quite honestly. You know? To be totally honest with you there, it's... I mean, what? America's been around for 2 going on 300 years now? That's actually pretty good. You know, most systems government don't exactly last, like, thousands of years, to be entirely honest with you. And they probably shouldn't. They probably should change more dynamically than that, quite honestly. Britain tries to be monarch. Gorbachev is a disgrace. I actually heard a couple of interesting things about, what do you call it? The British monarchy from Today I Found Out, YouTube channel there. The British monarchy has a lot of power. They just don't actually use it, and they delegate a lot of it out so they don't have to deal with it. It's actually pretty interesting. I would say they're only a constitutional monarchy after everything I found out insofar as branding goes. Like, in terms of actual distribution of power, those motherfuckers actually have a lot of authority. Like, holy shit. You know, I wouldn't want to get on the bad side of the royal family there, quite frankly. Dismantle the breadlines. The last person starved to death is the Tsar. Oh, God. Brainwashing tends to keep countries from falling. I would say it's a little bit more complex than just brainwashing. I mean, yeah, there is a propagandistic element to every country's existence, essentially, but I would say that it's equal parts that and, you know, living conditions is a really big thing. So that's why the U.S. is still here. Oh, my God. The Queen could remove Parliament if she wanted to. Yeah, that's just one of the many, many things that she could do. Yeah, she can technically do whatever she wants. There's very little actual checks and balances on the Queen's authority. She just doesn't use them because if she did, then they might try to put checks and balances on her authority. It's actually pretty smart there. You know, she's kept the monarchy really solidly in place. Willie the pizza guy will do perfectly as the Tsar. Free Russian pizza for everyone. Only if it was Mussolini's grubby pizza. Oh, God. Welcome back, Tuahan Kendariki, or Kendur. I'm sorry, I can't get the last name there. I don't even know if I got the first one right, so I do apologize, but welcome back. These are the royal lines that still exist today. Austria, Habsburgs, Russia, Romanovs, and... Ah, there we go, we won the war. Nice and chill. And I think... we ought to have enough for Anschluss pretty soon. No, not quite. Almost. Don't diss the Queen or you will trigger me. Like any good Brit. I didn't know the Hohenzollerns were still around. And the idea of a Bonaparte returning to France would be absolutely hilarious to me. I'm almost certain there's no more Romanovs, but I'm not 100%. So, you know, I could be wrong. Oh, democratic opposition. There we go. The Queen is technically commander of all armed forces in the UK, so she could wield them as she wanted to. That is true. Every member of the British military swears allegiance to the Queen rather than to Parliament, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong, but if I recall correctly, that was the case. I have a friend of mine that was in the UK tank corps there. The United Kingdom has been modernly democratic for quite a while. She really can do anything she wants, but nowadays... if she, for some reason, does, there's no actual way they would let her get away with it, or at least not without changing the laws or not letting her do it again. That is kind of the situation, and it'd be a very sore point for a lot of people. However, she can do it, and that's where the issue actually comes about. If Angela Merkel loses the general elections, I think she... Nah, I doubt that severely. Incredibly severely. Alright, so these... we're going to start subdividing these guys down. Stick these guys under a new command here. Didn't have to worry about this for some time. We're going to set these guys up on some front lines for once. Get this ready here. North Korea voted Best Korea 76 years in a row by North Korean Magazine. Oh, God, that's great. I love that. And we still can't. Can we rush out any more guys? No, not yet. How close? Doesn't have to be too far. Oh, take care, Glaswegian Gamer Official. Glad to have you around, and no worries. Do you think World War III will happen in the next 5 years? I think it's a matter of defining World War III, because on the one hand, I could argue that we're already in it as a result of the general war on terror. You know, it's a worldwide global conflict, you know. But in terms of first world nations going to conventional war with each other, I'm not seeing that, not anytime soon. Especially because of the fact that America is just so above and beyond, you know, the military capacity of pretty much the majority of these nations, and there's very little in terms of actual conflict points that would lead to an escalation to a full conventional war for any length of time. You know, skirmishes, that's one thing. Maybe something between India and Pakistan, maybe India, China have some border war, but it's, you know, nothing that wouldn't be resolved within a period of time there. I'm playing Raj right now, base game, and I have over 100 divisions, but can't do anything with any of with them. Any ideas? Yes. If you're independent of Great Britain, invade Iran and move your way into the Middle East and have fun with controlling the world's oil supply in a few years. Otherwise, you can move into China and, you know, have like the world's largest population ever. Befriend Poland with national focus. I probably will, actually. I can't bring them into my faction because of reasons, in essence. We'll put these guys into here so that they have a solid line. These guys we're going to put into a new command. We're going to have them actually guard the coastline. German NATO. Well, we're the plan for me at least was to join the Allies. If you guys think that we should actually go for our own faction, we can do that. I just figured that joining the Allies was the better way to go. I could be wrong though. I could be very wrong. You know, so you guys are gonna have to give me some feedback on that one. Well, glad to hear it there, Alec. What do you think of China's lead in automation? Could it see the rise of a new world superpower? I love these kinds of discussions, by the way. And, you know, glad to see you hopping in on that one there, Nuclear Trinity. Basically, my thought process on that one, at the very least there, would basically be along the lines of once they've eclipsed the military spending of the United States, then we're looking at a new world superpower at that point. Or even just become comparable to it. Up until then, they have a large, not just technological gap, but general organizational gap. They don't have a joint chiefs system similar to the United States, which makes their military very inefficient. However, in terms of its lead in automation, they definitely are already a manufacturing power, and I think that they're going to be able to basically become what we were in the 1950s soon. Not yet, but soon. And if they do that, it's actually going to be a national security threat for the United States going down the line. Because if we're not making any of our military goods anymore, that's going to be a huge issue. And if the military is the only industry we have left in the United States, that's going to be a huge issue as well. Because any sort of war would then, with a first world nation, would destabilize us economically. It's completely unable to, you know, it's unsustainable, I should say. If you do befriend Poland focus, you can't ask them for Danzig. If you do ask them for Danzig, you still ally them, but I don't think by focus tree. Well, the problem there is if I do Danzig war, and I go take over them, I could puppet them, but that has its own issues. That really does. So I don't know about that. We'll have to see. I think I'd probably just leave Danzig out of the equation, call it a lost cause, and be like, oh, we're democratic now, so let's, you know, not go to war over it. Modern superpowers: China, Russia, and the USA. I think it's a little bit more gray on that one than you might think there. So, for instance, I don't know how many people know this here, but back in 2008 or so, it was back under President Bush. It was like 2007, 2008. Russia went to war with a little this former Soviet satellite called Georgia, out in the middle of the Caucasus there, if I recall correctly. And they did not have a good time with that at all. They lost infinitely more people than the Georgians, and they were unable to actually take control of the country there. They were trying to push for a South Ossetian independence there. However, they ran into massive issues actually, projecting the war onto them, and it really showed a lot of their military incapability. Now, with the whole Ukrainian conflict here, we've seen that, they're better at covert operations and, black ops and things of that nature there, but I would say in terms of conventional military power, Russia is not as powerful as people necessarily believe it to be. And yeah, I can understand why he would be freaked out about that. I don't know about anything where I could just ask them for Danzig, but I haven't seen it yet. I didn't know we had NATO army trainers over there. That's actually really interesting. Don't forget Chechnya. Yeah, Chechnya is another example, but it's a little bit further back. I was looking for something more contemporary, but yeah, Chechnya is a good example of how ineffective in a lot of ways the Russian military is. Chechnya was not a state. Chechnya was a black arms market in the middle of the mountains there with one city. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that, Noah of the Town Militia. Quite a mouthful there. Oh, yeah, by all means, Thomas Bainbridge. Glad to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, Chechnya was basically a black arms market with a single city that had, a bit of an anti-Russian sentiment to it, quite frankly, at the time. Now they got, like, one of Putin's best friends, as far as the guy himself is concerned, in charge of the place there. But it's really interesting how badly the war went for the Russians. Hey, thank you for subscribing there, Mitchell Barnett. Really appreciate that. Well, if you do just forget about Danzig altogether, at least befriend Poland and Czechoslovakia. That is the idea right now. I'm hoping that I can do that. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Mario. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. Anschluss, let's do it. Take care, Bainbridge. Glad to see you there. They were a city-state. State implies that they had a functioning government. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And then, what else do we have here? Russia has the most nukes, and USA has the largest global military capacity and efficiency. Not only that, but Russia... Oh, Soviet withdrawal from Manchuria. Oh, not bad. Yeah, the problem with Russia's nukes is multifold there. So, even though the THAAD system is not that great, we do have the possibility of shooting down nukes now that we didn't have back in the Cold War. And as that gets better and better, it's going to be a lot harder for any state to use nuclear threats as a means of leveraging international power. Shrew, how do I become independent? IDK, how? Best way, lend-lease stuff to your home country. And if you're fighting their wars, take casualties. That's really... there is a focus tree that allows you to go independent as well as the Raj there. Oh, do you have all the DLC? Because that is a part of the equation there. Otherwise, you might not be able to go independent. You'd have to read up on the wiki on that one. I think there used to be a way, but I'm not 100%. I'm 20% Eastern European and 28% Balkan. Well, and I'm going to pass today to you there, my friend. It's got to be quite the interesting mix there. Soviet Russia shall rise once again and the West shall burn. I wouldn't be so confident in that one there, buddy. I would not be so confident. My dad was in the Iraq War, and he said the UK and USA was not equipped to fight as 64% didn't have body armor and cost. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. In the early war, we had Humvees that didn't have under armor, underplating for the actual vehicle. So anytime they hit an IED, which they're ground-based, mines in essence, they'd just blow the thing up from the bottom there, and they'd kill everyone inside the vehicle. But in all fairness, we progressed a ton militarily between the year 2000 and 2017. And even as late as 2011, I want to say, our military spending and our military technology was off the charts in terms of other countries there. what else do we have? The problem with anti-nuke systems... I don't think you got the rest of that one out there. USA could have some of the best anti-missile tech. Yeah, we do have some of the best anti-missile tech. That is true. But we have a lot of spending that we put into that area, and we have a private industry that's really helping us with that as well. So, in all fairness. You have the Millennium Dawn mod. There's a handful of stream ideas you could do with that, or entire series. Actually, one of my most popular videos right now is and it's actually slowly being eclipsed by a Mountain Blade single-player series I did, but my most popular right now is a Millennium Dawn multiplayer game that I did, and it was really fun. I got my ass kicked. I absolutely got my ass kicked, but you might have seen Baron, Von Guy Person, and Ringnar in the comments there, in the chat for this stream here. Both of them were in that game, and they're really fun guys, along with some of the others that we had in there, like Branchy and a few other guys. What else do we have? I could spend like the whole time just talking to you guys here. I gotta keep paying attention to this here, so I'm glad I'm playing at 3-speed. Am I allying with China or Japan? Probably not. I want to see if I could flip them to be... Oh, we need a new general in here. Let's promote you. But yeah, I'm planning on making everyone go democratic, starting with Spain. Let's start influencing that so we can get that on the way. Aren't Humvees now discontinued or about to be, and MRAP and other similar vehicles that are IED resistant? Yes, sort of. We always keep a standing stockpile of outdated equipment there. We still have stuff from the Cold War. In terms of active use, I'm pretty sure they're switching to MRAPs for conflict zones, but I'm also pretty sure that they have a supply of Humvees, if not for, you know, administrative use within interior lines, you know, safe areas like, I guess, Baghdad if we were still in there, or other regions like that. Then at the very least for the United States when they're dealing with internal convoys and things of that nature. I have a friend of mine that does logistics in the Army these days. I'm pretty sure they still use Humvees. Although he is National Guard, so they do get all the last generation equipment. Oh, whoa, hey, none of that. None of that. I'm gonna ask you politely not to, you know, say the N-word or anything else like that. Next time I'm gonna have to block you. Communism will never rise in Russia, as communism is a liberal idea, and right now Russia is highly conservative. I actually agree with you on that one. Hey, welcome to you from America. Glad to see someone from Norway there. Johannes Sather? I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but I figure I gave it a good faith effort. We'll get that going. And Amelia Earhart disappeared. That's very unfortunate. What do I know about any of this? Any of what, out of curiosity? Meant to say MRAPs and new stuff. Nah, it's all good, Drites. Kind of missed part of that there. Play Transnistria and conquer all of Europe, all Europe of Russia and the... okay, that's a little hard to understand there. Paradrop UK. That's actually quite possible. Actually, no, we're going to be allying with the UK. What am I saying? About the Stellaris stream, are you going to do the same thing you said about the council? I want to. I was actually in the process of the week before things happened. I was trying to develop a little chat game that would have people able to like vote in a parliament where they actually are swaying like NPC, you know, ministers and that sort of thing to try and agree with them. But I've been having a lot of problems with that, and I'm gonna try and appeal to the good nature of my brother, who is a very good programmer and a game developer, to actually give that a go. Is he still is Arch still saying anything there? I only saw the one time, but if he said anything... Whoa, he did. Okay, you're blocked, pal. I apologize. I actually missed that. Yeah, he's gone. I'm not standing for that. I am sorry about that, guys. I'm a little bit too nice about that whole thing. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. No, he was a troll. I'm too nice about it. I should have just blocked him the first time, but I was like, I'll warn him and then let it go forward from there. If he does it again, I'll get rid of him, because a lot of people tolerate that in their comment sections, and I try to set up where people are aware of the rules and then go forward. No, I apologize. Yeah, well, that just happened. That's true. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. It's actually really awesome of you there. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but it just, I pretty much have the same reaction every time there. It's just like, wow, thanks. Hello from America. Glad to see you there, New Zealand. Billy Garbett. I'm just gonna call you Billy. I'm Irish, by the way, and I feel disgraced. I'm part Irish, and I'd rather not be associated with that personally. I have no interest in that. That is not my element. Alright, let's get these guys in a new command on the Italian border here, I'd say. Does anyone know if Russia went to war with another large country, if they even have the ability to mobilize as fast as NATO can? If I recall, and I could be wrong, but most of Russia's army is a conscript army, which would mean that their ability to mobilize is probably going to be less than that of America. But it's the same situation that faces China there, too. Which is why I'm not really as worried about that. Do I play War Thunder? I do, on occasion. I'm not good at it, but I do play it. Actually, every single one of my channel announcements has been a War Thunder video. Except for a couple of announcements for upcoming community games and that sort of thing. But every time I do a thank you video, it's typically War Thunder, with a few exceptions. Please don't attack Daddy Stalin. Sorry, he's gone, bro. It's gonna happen. What else do we have? Ally with Russia. We're gonna be overthrowing him, so that's not really a feasible thing there. And it's really ironic when... Oh, yeah, pretty much every American does have some element of Irish in them if they're from either California or New York. You know, other areas, German is a pretty prevalent one. And other than that, it really depends. Really depends. And what do we need here? Oh, we don't need that. Appreciate that they're fighting waffles. And I missed a few comments. I'm going to go back and read them here. My dad is now a military advisor to Ukraine, and so the Ukrainian army is better equipped than most major countries. I actually believe that. If I recall, they're getting a lot of outside... military investment in them. I'm not 100% on that, but that is actually first of all, you know, hope that your dad's doing okay there. So best of luck to him. But yeah, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. I've heard that they get a lot of stuff coming from the outside since they're in the middle of the conflict. It's really ironic when Europeans call Americans imperialist war mongrels, while starting both world wars, colonizing all of Africa and some of Asia and all the Americas. I mean, you had to learn it from somewhere, in all fairness. But yeah, it's every major nation has something behind it there, you know. My girlfriend went to visit the Netherlands at one point in time. The Netherlands, is a beautiful place, don't get me wrong. But the shit that they did over here in Indonesia, oh my god. You know, they didn't get to be some kind of, European, modern society without a lot of crazy messed up shit, quite frankly. This is an odd little isolated stream with a lot of good discussion, mature handling of the audience. I like it. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we try here. You know, it's a small little place, but I like to think the people that hang around are good people. War Thunder is love. My first game on Steam account for over 1,000 hours. Mine are actually Paradox games mostly, and I see that whoa, a lot of stuff went through here, so I do apologize. Hey, thank you for subscribing. And Dan Herdman, Richard, can you show us your room/office? This is my office. I do have a bedroom upstairs there, but the thing is that as much as I would love to show it to you, this is the part that's, relatively okay. If we go past this, it's a storage closet in essence, and I'd rather not show that off because there's just nothing good there. I have a background as an entrepreneur, and behind me there's a lot of failed ideas, basically, so, nothing worth showing off. What is my opinion of To Catch a Predator? Obsolete. The show hasn't been on the air for a long time. Working on getting Hoi 4 over 1,000. 300 hours away. Not bad. Not bad. I used to do a lot of multiplayer, which ties up a lot of time there. You know, public multiplayer games can easily last, you know, several hours. Look at what the Belgians did to the Congo. Oh, yeah, King Leopold was a mess. What's your opinion on annexing both Mexico and Canada? Do you think we should do it? No, not even close. There might be a Pan-American Union sometime in the future there, but in terms of annexing it, it's just... There's nothing good that comes from a military annexation, quite frankly. And there never has been in the 21st century. I gotta go, Richard. I've enjoyed your stream so much. You're an awesome and underrated... Oh, wow. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And you know what? I hope to see you in the future there. You know? Thank you for checking us out. I'm playing E4 as Custom Nations. I am the AHE... Oh, Austro-Hungarian Empire. Okay, it took me a second. No, Bohemia. Not bad. Hey, you know, best of luck to you on that one there, quite frankly. We need light aircraft. Failed ideas, best ideas. I wish. I wish. Shrew is hiding. Oh, you know it. You know it. Release Austria as a puppet? Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I need those factories. Because I'm not gonna be getting much more, unfortunately. That's why I'm going down through the line here. And I'm debating on demanding some stuff, but we're going to go befriend Czechoslovakia instead. Yeah, I mainly play competitive MP games, and they take at least 6 hours. Yep, that's about right. What do I think of Donald? I'm assuming you're talking about Trump. Honestly, I got a bit of a complicated relationship with that because I worked in politics for a little while, and when I did, I politically am not conservative. I'm like very far left personally, but that's just me. I worked for a Republican Party candidate when I was upstate, and it was interesting. It was a really interesting experience. I learned a lot of stuff from it there, but we actually had a bit of a working relationship in the last election cycle with Donald Trump's campaign, which was crazy. So on the one hand, it's like I don't agree with anything about Donald politically, but at the same time, I put forward a lot of the working ideas in the campaign that I was working with in order to actually work with Donald and, you know, position ourselves in a similar facet to him. And then after that, I didn't work in politics again. Oh, what do we have here? Attacks Switzerland. Probably not going to happen. Unless they're not democratic. Then probably going to happen. Get ready for Hurricane Irma. I heard thunder already. Oh, Jesus. Be safe, man. You know, don't get any problems over there with that. You are a left-wing populist. That's the best kind of populist, quite frankly. The only problem I have with some left-wing politics these days, and like I said, I'm a leftist personally, so it's not coming from a place of disagreement here, but my problem with leftist politics these days is it's very intolerant of dissenting ideas, which is a major problem if you're going to try and convince people to agree with you. Diplo annex. Yeah, good luck with Diplo annexing any of that. Hello from Denmark. Well, hello from America. Glad to see you there, Andreas Larson. Appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up. Actually, I almost ended up going to the Paradox convention, which would have had me going through Denmark at one point in time. And I would have been very excited about that because it looked like it was gonna be really awesome. Hey, out of curiosity, is there any reason that you're calling him a retard? Not that I, you know, cracked down on that in particular, but I'd appreciate keeping a bit of a better tone on that one. If you're wondering how Dad is doing, is teaching the Ukrainian army to use the tanks in urban areas as the Ukrainians really don't. That is a pretty difficult undertaking to begin with, so yeah, I can definitely understand that then. Actually, hold up. I should have put these guys somewhere else. All you Americans with your hurricanes, I'm here at the entrance of the Med sweating my ass off. Yeah, it kind of goes to the territory, you know. Although I heard that Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. I've wanted to visit the Mediterranean for a while, though. I was actually looking to get to Turkey for a while. Figured it'd be an absolutely beautiful place. Opinion on Antifa. Disagreement, especially with their tactics. Even if I'm not 100% on even what their policy objectives are, other than we just don't like fascists. What do we have with this? Just proceed as usual. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, I definitely disagree with their tactics at the very least. I think it's counterproductive. Everyone who hates fascists is an Antifa. Oh my god. I wouldn't say that personally. Because unfortunately the branding is in place there. So it kind of skews with the entire situation. All you East Coast of the hurricanes, I'm here in Arizona. Yeah, you got your own set of problems there, buddy. How's Joe Arpaio doing? We must take away free speech to prevent people from taking away our free speech. I'd like to think that they're not trying to defend free speech, to be entirely honest with you. I don't think it was ever a matter of that. I think it's a matter of ideology. They just disagree with that position. You know? Liberate, cough cough, annex Africa. Okay. Can I make the Bismarck ship? I could. I'm not currently because the shipyards required is not feasible, per se. We do have a decent-sized army, though, which is going to help us out, but I'm trying to get things rolling in a couple of other areas. We don't need tactical bombers anymore. We can get rid of that. I forgot the UN urged the U.S. to redact free speech. America does have a very unique take on free speech compared to a lot of other countries, so it's a little bit complicated of a situation. At least that's always been my opinion of it. Fascists are gaining a lot of seats in the EU and other local governments. Yeah, I heard about that. If you have a chance, you should go to Ukraine, as it's a lovely country. After the war, well, maybe during the war, that'd probably be a more interesting time to check it out. I thought about, like, enlisting with the Peace Corps and a couple other different things at different times there. But I haven't necessarily committed to anything per se. You're far away from the battle. That's true. That is a fair point there. After Charlottesville. Oh, I missed something there. Oh, okay. I wonder how decolonization is going to work with Shrew. Wonder if we have all those juicy warlords. Yeah, that's a fair point there. You know, if we have democracy everywhere, how's decolonization going to function? Maybe I need to have like a decolonization run at some point in time. That could be interesting. Just release every government that I can inside of like Africa and Asia and those areas. Could you check on Asia really fast? Yes, I can. Right now, it's pretty stable. Not much going on. It looks like China and them are at war, but they haven't even gotten to Beijing yet, so it's going to take a little while. I don't care about fascists, communists, Democrats, or whatever, as long as you're not the Hitler type person. I've always figured that as long as you're, against the idea of violence, generally in terms of politics there, I could be on good terms with you. Actually, I should say I'm a pretty tolerant person, so even someone that advocates for violence in politics, I'm going to try and convince them not to, be involved with that sort of thing. But I could still have a conversation with someone there. Because I feel like if you can't even do that, it's going to be very hard to actually change anything. What's going on? Well, right now we're playing Germany. We're trying to go democratic. It's taking a little while. We're getting there. We are getting there, but once we flip democratic, we're going to try and bring as many other countries to democracy as well, and take it from there. That Ukraine thing reminds me of everybody refusing to visit Africa because of Ebola, despite it only being like 5 tiny West African countries. Sort of. I understand where you're coming from, and I would say that most people aren't really quick to the draw when it comes to going to regions are considered dangerous. You know, there's a lot of elements to it there. Shrew, politician, entrepreneur, epic streamer, and a goddamn peacekeeper. What makes the first bloody person on Venus? Well, if I was, I'd be crushed under the weight of the atmosphere, which is an interesting metaphor at that point. And unfortunately, I haven't been a politician. I'd love to be, but I had two options. I could either run for elected office in January of next year or become a YouTube streamer this year. And I chose the other one. I did work in politics, though. I was a campaign strategist, which I thought was, pretty interesting there, personally. And in terms of Peacekeeper, I wish. Unfortunately, I've never done anything that interesting. Why do I feel like it's going to end badly? Probably. But do you not just stop the pop-up that would have turned you Democrat? Did I? I don't think I did. That would be very awkward, wouldn't it? Well, no worries. I did? Oh my god. Oh, wow, I feel pretty stupid now. Well, it should pop up again later on or something. We'll figure something out there. Have I been in Norway? I have not. I've never actually been outside the Americas, personally. Probably the first time I'm going to do it, actually, is when I go to visit my girlfriend's extended family in Mexico. Looking forward to that, actually. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. Becoming democratic with any country is so fun when you join the Allies. I believe it. Thinking of becoming a lawyer. Not sure what type I should become, but really love to argue. That was something I was looking into as well. I actually used to do mock trials, and I highly recommend trying that out if you're looking to become a lawyer. It all depends on what you're trying to do, because, there's different types of law, and there's also different types of lawyers. You don't have to be in front of a court for every single role there. There's administrative law positions as well. But I would recommend give trial law a consideration if you're going to do that. Check out mock trials and see if it's for you. Get a mod of the Cold War and then kill North Korea. Oh my god. Wow. I feel really stupid for closing the Democratic referendum pop-up. But it should have something else pop up later on. Yep, I'm an idiot. Okay, it'll come back, so that's good. I'm in New York, which is a massive and extremely populous state there. It's interesting, though. Oh, Guten Nacht, or Guten Morgen, whichever works for you guys there. Hey, how you doing, colleague? Good to see you. And let's put out some more guys here. I think this is probably the last round of them that I'm going to be doing. Because as it stands, we should have more than enough troops out in the field as of right now. And we'll put these guys in a separate army command right around here. We're not actually going to be going to war with any of these people, but yeah, I'm just so used to it that it's just what I do. You live in Australia? Oh, not bad. I got a couple friends in Australia. It's an interesting place. A lot of stuff tries to kill you, apparently, but, props to you. Not bad. I'm thinking of becoming a lawyer as well. I'm going to focus on restarting the Salem witch trials. Oh my god. Anybody ever been in historical reenactments? I really want to try those out, too, when I get old enough. I'd highly recommend it. I've seen some really cool ones out there. We used to have Civil War events about an hour from my home. And it was really cool. It was really cool. What's the ETA for the next roleplay? Which roleplay are you talking about? My tabletop roleplays? And, what else do we have here? The only thing I can remember of German is how to say the potato. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Zentrum becomes a ruling party. Okay, yes, let's do it. The people must be heard? Public opposes rearmament. Protect our sovereignty comes first. We're gonna go with that one. Okay. Oh my god, Mary Jerry. That's pretty funny. Let me scroll up here. Time in America right now is 7:25. And what else do we have? My cousin loves being a lawyer. He just got a job doing corporate bankruptcy cases. Oh, that is really cool. That's actually really interesting. The head of NATO said that Russia has mobilized more than 100,000 men on the European borders. Yeah, but that's not really going to do much for them per se, because to be entirely honest with you, modern war isn't necessarily about troop numbers when it comes to conventional war. It's more about technology and warheads, I would argue. Air power is huge, but missile technology is pretty big as well. Tabletop. Oh, that I'm working on right now. I need to get in contact with Thread and a couple other people there and see about recording the next pre-roleplay episode. I'm looking forward to it. It's been really busy, and I had a bunch of stuff pop up that I was not expecting. So, yeah. Why is Hitler in control of democratic Germany? He isn't. Konrad Adenauer. That's our guy. Bear. Hey, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that, Tyrese Kirk. Thank you very much. I aspire to join your powerful biplane Air Force. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Why don't we go with... Oh, this is hard, actually. Let's try the Vienna Award. No, I don't want to do that. Naval rearmament. We're gonna go with that. Guy looks like he was in the thick of it. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it not only does it take a little while to set everything up, we're dealing with a lot of conflicting schedules because of how things have been working out for people. You know, some people are back in college and that sort of thing. Play as fascist South Korea. So you mean basically 1950s, 60s, and 70s South Korea. You know. The camel shall rule the skies once again. Absolutely. Now German NATO. Actually, I want to see if I dismantle the faction, will they let me in? Yes, we just need more world tension, and then we get to join the Allies. And then it's a short hop, skip, and a jump right to the communists. We got this. Oh, we're getting all the times in the chat here. And what else we have? As you said, Russia has a small army compared to North Korea, China, and US. They have 650,000 men, according to the Kremlin. That is really small. I feel like the reservist population has to be really, really big at that point if they have that small of a standing army, because there's no way that you're protecting a country the size of Russia with 650,000 guys. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Unless Italy wants to try something. Yeah, that's true. We should actually stick some guys on the Italian border, I suppose. We're not going to be going to war with these guys anytime soon. Actually, it's probably going to be a lot more focused on coups, in full honesty. Okay, we are boosting democratic here. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Oh, God. I kind of want Gross Deutschland formed by democratic Germany now. Well, we already have Austria, so it shouldn't be too much behind that there. What does Gross Deutschland encompass again? I think we have the majority of it. Maybe Czechoslovakia, so we can get like Bohemia in those areas. Switzerland's reserve is something like 40% of their population. Yeah, that's true, but they also have a different approach when it comes to their military because they're non-interventionists to begin with. Please make the Bismarck ship. I could do that. Yeah, we can make that happen. We're just going to have to get, what do you call it, the research for it there. But that shouldn't be too hard. At least if Germany fails the invasion of USSR, they can call the Allies to assist. It's just not likely to lose the war with Poland and then the USSR. I mean, I don't know. I'm debating what we should do about Poland because on the one hand, I can boost them and flip them that way. On the other hand, I can join the Allies, and I can go to war with them by focus. And I'm not sure which one we want to do. Just need Bohemia and the Sudetenland. I could get those by focus. I don't know. Actually, maybe I can't get them anymore. We'll have to see about that. Is he doing the Berlin-Moscow alliance? No. We are going to be taking the Soviet Union down, turning them back democratic, and taking them from there. What's everybody's favorite war? That is an interesting way of phrasing it, and unfortunately it's probably true from the perspective of a lot of military historians. You know, what is your favorite war? Well, when you put it that way. I don't necessarily have a favorite. I have moods, basically. Certain things I'm interested in at a point in time. The UK has an army of 200,000 men, but the territorial army, the reserves are 400,000, but Russian reserves are 1.9 million. That's the reserve population I was talking about. That's about right. No, German NATO. Do we really want to go with German NATO? Because we can do that. It's just then we lose out on France and Britain. Huh. I feel Australia's really clinched by having like the dangerous wildlife, but to be honest, I've only seen 3 snakes all my life living up in the bush. That's fair. That is fair. You guys get a bit of a bad rap for that one there. And you know, we have snakes in New York. It's not like they aren't a thing. I know it's a long way off, but for the next Hoi 4 MP game, will we be doing mods or regular? Probably mods. We did regular the first time around, so we're going to probably toss a mod on there. And it really depends what we want to do by that point in time. Could actually be modern day. That could be really fun, truth be known. I love the Crimean War. 10 out of 10 British command. I'm on a bit of a Civil War kick right now because it's interesting how that played out in a lot of different ways. But I'm not up, you know, I do keep up on a couple other things there. Like, to be entirely honest, World War II I think is really interesting. World War I I've had a bit of an interest in as well. So yeah. Oh, I'm probably going to join the Allies, to be entirely honest. And hello, James Cusack. How you doing? I remember reading about the Battle of Britain in the small book when I was younger and loved reading about it, but I can't find it anymore. Do you remember anything about it? Maybe we could help you out. Good night from Denmark. Good night from Denmark. Oh, well, take care, Andreas Larson. Glad you could stop by, you know. Really appreciate it. It was good seeing you. And we could really use transport planes. You're really big on the NATO thing, ain't you there, buddy? Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go with the Allies, to be entirely honest, which basically is NATO 1.0. I think modern day as well, your buddies, Ringnar, Baron, etc. make the game awesome, cause all the diplomacy. That's true. Yeah, I got 49 dudes watching me. Yeah, actually, I'm really happy about it. We got a really decent turnout this time. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Andreas. Really appreciate that. Actually, I think it's a little bit higher. Let me refresh this for you here. Ah, roughly the same. Yeah, it's actually not bad. Yeah, I actually really appreciate you guys tuning in. What do we need to do here? Naval effort. Let's get some extra dockyards going. Screw Allies, NATO. You really are, like, major on this whole German NATO thing there, buddy. Light mechanized are really fast, cheap, and have a high defense value. You can form uber flexible front line and then ruin them if you can make a break. You're not wrong. And actually, I do like the mechanized units there personally. And I can understand if you don't remember too much about the book there. It's probably from a while back there. But I recently found an old TV series, actually, that I was looking for a long time. It was Arthur of the Britons. It was an old British, like, TV show that was really interesting because it shows Arthur as an Anglo tribesman. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Evan McCauliffe. I'm sorry, Evan. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that last one there, but really appreciate it. Thanks. And absolutely, Alec Fisher. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna have to settle for the Allies. It just makes sense. Modern day mod and MP leads to more actual negotiations and more. It depends. It really does, because people in Hoi 4 are very aggressive, and unfortunately the modern day would... Oh wow, thanks, Ether. Shit, I really appreciate that, man. But yeah, I always felt that one of the best games for a modern day game was actually a little known thing called Masters of the World Geopolitical Simulator 3. Thank you, Mr. C No No. I really appreciate you subscribing. That's really awesome of you, man. I missed a few comments here. I'm sorry. Let me take a look through here. What's the end goal of this campaign, James Cusack? We're going to be, as Democratic Germany, attempting to flip. We're going to be attempting to make every single other country democratic, where possible. Starting with, the major ones, Soviet Union, Japan, that sort of thing. Slip. Oh my god. What else do we have here? Do you think that Germany should be allowed 1 million men in the army? Yeah, especially today. I see no problem with that. I mean, I'm not a big military person, but, honestly, I think military spending is kind of overblown in America, but that's beside the point. I once played as Germany, but forgot to ever scroll right to the national focus menu. Ended up never getting the army focuses and beyond it. Didn't end well. I can understand that. Yeah, it definitely gets a little hectic from there. German Navy will be the best in the world. You're not wrong. What consoles do I have? 360 was the last one I ever picked up. Yeah, Arthur the Britons is the one. America should have a larger army. Interesting. During my streams, I usually defeat Poland and Denmark in 36-37, which allows you to have more land before the war begins. Oh, absolutely, but we're not going to be going the same way. We're democratic, so we're not able to do certain things there. I would donate, but I don't have the money. Dude, you donated so much money to me. I really do appreciate it. So don't feel pressured. No worries. How old am I? I am actually 24, going on 25. Personally, yeah, it's been interesting. I have $50 in GameStop cards. What should I purchase? That's a good question. I got no good answer for you. Hey, thank you for following Imperial Archangel. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna slip your democratic. Oh god, yeah, you're right. They're gonna get a decent democratic dicking. I'll tell you that right now. Shrew, will you ever do a series on Mountain Blade Warband, A Clash of Kings again? Yes, actually, I was already recording it. When was it? Like 2-3 days ago? I was trying to figure out a way in order to one-up what I was doing before, and unfortunately, I'm not that funny. So I'm not like Ice Sour Productions or anyone like that. So trying to make something entertaining in Mountain Blade Warband for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. But I am working on something because, honestly, Perduno gave me all this free advertising by sticking me up in his ModDB page, and the absolute least I could do is make another Clash of Kings series for him, because that was awesome of him, and he didn't have to do that. This is a Democratic Germany run. What else do we have here? Do I like Dan Carlin? I actually was listening to his podcast, Hardcore History, but this one was the Celtic Genocide earlier today. It's actually really interesting. I would say that it's a fascinating listen. There are some things he does good and some things that I like other people doing. Like with his Celtic, he calls it the Celtic Holocaust there. I heard the same history from Historia Civilis and retained a lot more of it in Historia Civilis's actual videos. I retained a lot more of the history that I got from there than I did from Dan Carlin, repeating the same exact things. Because Dan Carlin is kind of like me, where he does all these digressions, and he'll be like, and then this happened. Well, not exactly that. There were these couple other things here, and then this, it sort of plays into that. We're not 100% sure whether this happened or didn't happen, and maybe this happened, but that happened, and it could be this. That sort of thing. Yeah, feel free to message me at any point in time. I'm on Discord. As a matter of fact, if anyone wants, you can hit me up on Discord pretty much at any point in time. I might not be able to get back to you right away, but I'll get back to it when I can. Mountain Blade Bannerlord would be awesome to do a stream or series on, and I am looking forward to it so much. It looks awesome. It looks so awesome. I have played Napoleonic Mountain Blade. I actually own that and Viking Conquest. Viking Conquest is amazing. I haven't played much of it, and I was debating doing a series, but I don't know if anyone would even watch it, unfortunately. Why haven't I gone Commie Deutschland? Because it was a vote in the chat, and people wanted to go Democratic, so that's what we ended up doing. The UK has the best aircraft carriers in the world right now, but they have no place to go on it. Oh, they wouldn't say that in the Falkland War. Do you know what happened to Historia Civilis channel? It's been inactive for a few months now. I could have sworn he posted something not too long ago. He was inactive for almost a year back when I first discovered him. Then he came back, did a bunch of new stuff, got a better microphone, and has been going pretty strong ever since then. But I haven't checked recently. He might be away again. Maybe something came up. Join the Allies because when I played Hoi 4 as Democratic Germany, America declared war on me. That's brutal. And I will as soon as we get the tension limit up, which I might have to contribute to. We'll have to see about that. Since no MP, are we going... I'm going to do this same scenario right now. I'll still be here watching though. Okay, yeah, by all means. Yeah, I appreciate you checking it out. That's what I like about Dan Cullen, though. He gives you a feel for the minutia. No, I agree about his attention to detail. Don't get me wrong, but I always felt like he's trying to tell a story narratively, whereas Historia Civilis is like a teacher that is able to set up a good story. Dan Carlin is a good storyteller that's really trying to get the history right. And, by the way, take care, Bear Truth. Appreciate you checking it out. Serbia is strong. But yeah, Dan Carlin, I feel like he always gets lost in the digressions where it ends up disrupting the flow of his story. And that's one of his storytelling is excellent. He has a voice made for radio. It is, amazing what he's been able to pull off there over the course of his thing. Historia upload 1 month ago. That's not unusual for him. That's actually not unusual for him at all. I've seen him go like 1 or 2 months for a video. I love the look of Hoi 4. Would you suggest buying the game? Yes, with an asterisk attached to it there. So, I am actually a very big fan of Paradox Interactive's games. I've given them a lot of shit in the past there, but it's not from, a place of disdain. I thoroughly enjoy their games, and I hold them to a high standard. Hearts of Iron 4 is the most arcade-like game that they've ever come out with. So, if you're expecting a hardcore simulation similar to like what Europa Universalis 3 was, or Victoria 2, or that sort of thing, then this is not your game. But if you want something that you can sit back, chill, play for an afternoon, have a decently competitive game for, something rather in depth, this is perfect. It works. What else do we have here? I'm going to enjoy this stream. I have yet to do a Democratic Germany front. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's nice so far because it allows me to chill back and talk with you guys, but pretty soon it's going to get really hectic, and I don't know how well we're going to be able to keep up with it all. I feel like I need to start justifying on someone and get involved. Because right now we're building up really, really, really big. And we'll have to see how it goes from there. What are your thoughts on the history of the world, I guess? You're funny. You are funny. I can see that. He's not a historian, but I find it very interesting. Oh, he's very interesting. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy his stuff there. I suppose you call it nitpicking, but it does kind of break it up for me. Yes, it was my first Paradox game and easier than the others. Hey, thank you for following. Really appreciate that, Vankin. And yeah, it definitely is easier than a lot of the others, but personally, okay, maybe I need to rethink where I come from this, because I used to recommend Europa Universalis 4 as the entry game for any Paradox game, but honestly, it's really expensive to get into these days. Hearts of Iron 4 is nowhere near as expensive these days, and it's because it's at the beginning of its dev cycle, and it is a lot easier than a lot of other games that they come out with. So yeah, I guess I probably would hesitantly recommend Hoi 4 as your first Paradox game. It's just that other games in their series there have a much different feel from it. That'd be the way I put it up there. I like how your face lights up whenever someone follows or subscribes. I know, right? I appreciate it, That and the donations, don't get me wrong, I'm not rich, so I appreciate that too, but any support that you guys give is awesome, Victoria 2 is best game as vanilla, EU4 for the mods. I found that CK2 is really, really fun, both vanilla and modded, so it's probably one of my favorites. Now I'm bummed you didn't take the Sudetenland. Well, I was going to have to befriend Czechoslovakia anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean about the Sudetenland. I was going back and forth on that too. Haven't been able to play Hoi 4 on my desktop because it gets stuck on updating history. It's believed to be a glitch with AMD GPUs. I have an AMD on my computer. I've never heard of that one before, but maybe... Huh. Have you tried putting it on the forums there? Maybe they can give you a hand with it. Oh, take care of Noah of the Town Militia. Glad you could check us out. You know, appreciate you stopping by. Let's get these guys in the proper unit here. What else do we have? Just remember that all you need is to blow up as many as you can. You're not wrong. U4 is probably the worst beginner entrance game. The full game is 250 pounds. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I used to recommend it to people, but it is insane how much it costs. Because I used to recommend Europa Universalis 3 before it, because that's what I started with, and I had a lot of fun. But it is really expensive, and I don't know if I could really recommend it in good faith as your first Paradox game. It's really rough. If there was World War III but no nukes, how would you fight? Or I don't know what you mean by that. I completely forgot about CK2. A lot of people do. It's actually one of my favorites, though. Yeah, I would say if you do think it's interesting, check it out. There are a lot of games that go more in-depth than this in different ways, but it's not a bad game, I'd say. Democratic Germany OP late game. Yeah, it's not wrong. Am I going to go to war? I'm getting closer to that feeling every day. I might actually go after Poland and Czechoslovakia just to raise the world tension and... Well, no. Not Czechoslovakia, but Poland just to raise the world tension, potentially. Paradox really pissing me off the DLC policy. Me too. Yeah. CK2 is best by far, although the only reason I've been able to continue playing is because of the Game of Thrones mod. I got bored in vanilla because I only have Sword of Islam and Old Gods. Well, that is a problem there. Yeah, unfortunately, base game is really awesome if you have all the mods. You know, it really is just a hugely, you know, I love it. It's really fun. I've never really had a boring game, but unfortunately, it's a lot of DLC. It really is. If they carry on, I would probably boycott them. It's hard. I was happy when they at least reversed their price increase on a lot of people because that was just unfair. I was not happy about that at all. And I threw a lot of shade at people that I probably shouldn't have with that, but I was really unhappy with the fact that, you know, I felt like they were going to get away with it, you know. So, it happens. You should recommend Knights of Honor as Paradox. Hey, thanks for following there, Prince Wilhelm. Prince Wilhelm II, Prince Wilhelm II. I'll go with the second. Are you gonna post a live stream on YouTube when you are done? I have to go and I want to see the end. Yeah, absolutely. And hey, I really appreciate you checking us out here, Sad Soybeans. You know, thank you very much. The thing about Hoi 4 is even after 700 hours, really experienced players are showing me underlying things that made the game way more interesting and in-depth. Sort of. I do agree with that, but I always felt that it lacked a lot of the depth of the other games, which is really unfortunate for me personally. Jesus. Okay, so Italy just formed its own faction. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's not really as impressive as I thought it would be, actually. It seemed infinitely worse. Yes, I do play EU4. It was actually one of the first... It was the first Paradox game that I ever put up on YouTube. Out of curiosity, what are your system specs? They're changing. Actually, I'm going to get a completely new rig set up literally tomorrow. I got it over last weekend, and I haven't had the chance to set it up before now, and a friend of mine's going to give me a chance setting it up. It's got water cooling. It's got like an i7, a Ryzen graphics card. It was donated to me, and it was really awesome. The guy who did it, Ragnar, a friend of mine, he was like, I'm going to build you a computer. And I was like, you are way too fucking kind. So, take Australia, them bitches love koalas. Paradox needs some competitors. Right now, they've cornered this niche so they can do what they want. I agree to an extent. Unfortunately, they don't really make as much money off of just their development studio. Their publishing, I think, is where they see their future right now. And I don't know how they managed to lose Mountain Blade. The fact that they lost the Mountain Blade licensing, which allegedly they amicably parted ways there, but the fact that it's not being published underneath them anymore, I don't know how they screwed up such a good thing for them as a company. But whatever works, I guess, you know? Or, better yet, if the Mountain Blade Studio was like, we're going to get out from here while the game's good, all the more power to them, because they got out at the right time, honestly. Beware War from Italy. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm actually going to reallocate some guys onto that border. These guys ain't going to be doing anything, right? Right. So let's delete this one and set up this one, because we're probably going to end up going to war with them. See his plans, the cute plankton memes. Italy is going to leave her own faction and join you. Probably not. We're probably going to have to force some regime change over there, quite frankly. But I appreciate the heads up on that. Man, I swear I would last longer in a torture chamber than with that subscriber sounds going on every 5 minutes. I'm going to change that. Honestly, it's just... I haven't found a better soundbite yet, and I need to. I will, though, and I do apologize. What other games do I play? A lot, actually. I have a huge list. The problem is I like really niche strategy games in a lot of respects, so unfortunately they don't make for the most popular viewing, but I try to cross over with stuff like, I like Hoi 4. You know, it's definitely a very fun game, and it's more popular than, for example, Hegemony 3, you know, Rise of the Hegemons. I forgot the actual, you know, digression that they have underneath it there. Yeah, go ahead and join my Discord if you like there. We do have a lot of other people that we play with, and we do have community games that we do as well. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we do have people post host games on the Discord, and they post up on there, you know, being like, hey, come join the game. That sort of thing. Go right down to Naples, I think. And we're probably going to want some extra guys over there, so I'll figure something out. Beware of Hungary's border. Yeah, you're right. So let's take this command. We're going to split them in half, put half on here. And the other half of you guys, we're going to put onto a new front line. Right over there. There we go. Not bad. Do I play Men of War 2? I love Men of War Assault Squad 2. It is an awesome game. Unfortunately, the only people I know that play multiplayer with it are a handful of friends of mine that also play the Paradox games, and they don't get a lot of views. But I have done a lot of skirmish games with them. Problem is sub sound is wicked loud in comparison to any other stream sound. Oh, I am very sorry. I can fix that after this one here. I do apologize. I didn't even realize because it sounds perfectly fine to me, but I can't tell. Are you planning on using any motorized infantry in this run? As a matter of fact, yes. As you can see, I gotta rename that. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I sincerely apologize. What is the Discord? I would love to play with people. Right in the description for the video, if you go down to it, you'll see it's right in there. The thing that the link to the Discord. Also, let me see what I can do about the sound, and I do apologize again for that. Let's see here. Yeah, this one. Is there nothing I could do about that? I'm not seeing it. Oh, thank you, Drites. Really appreciate you pointing it to him. Play Roblox. Oh my god. I briefly tried it out. My brother was more into it than I was growing up. Quite honestly. Yeah. By the way, hello, Jam is Demand. How you doing? What was I saying, though? Well, you know what? In the meanwhile here, now I gotta figure out how we're gonna approach this, because I had to research, actually, some paratroopers, which we can toss the speed up on here. The flaws, do you think that Oh, what are the flaws I think Hoi 4 has? There's a lot. It's mostly a matter of design philosophy in addition to a couple of other major issues, but it's hard. Some other games I can critique based on, like, hey, you know, this is historically inaccurate, this isn't a good portrayal, this is a bad, you know, way of designing this feature. For Hoi 4, the underlying game philosophies are problematic. Oh, hey, Italy declared war on Greece. We can make something happen with that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back down to 3-speed, and I'll explain it to you in a second there. What is my opinion of Proxima? Is that another YouTuber? I'm not familiar offhand. And we're gonna befriend Denmark? Yeah, democratic influence. There we go. So, what was the thing I was saying? Sorry. Have I played any Assassin's Creed games? Yes. The last one I played was Brotherhood, and I did enjoy it. But, haven't really played anything since then, unfortunately. Actually, let's take these guys, put them in a new command. How many can we send to you? We can't send volunteers? Why? Oh my god, you suck. Ridiculous entrenchment bonus? I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, actually. There's a couple of things, and I'll get to them in just a second here. Okay, so, my biggest problem with Hearts of Iron 4 is this. This, on paper, is a really good idea, the whole national focus tree. And the reason is, it allows you to do AI scripting in the easiest possible way. But, unfortunately, it's also very undynamic. Because every game is playing out the same, there's really little to no variation, unless it's player agency driven, or you go completely ahistorical and you're completely off the reservation at that point. It takes a lot of... Oh, since you're using motorized infantry, you might want to consider using light self-propelled gun artillery to get massive soft attack. I usually use 2 divisions of my... I actually agree with you on that one. The main thing for me right now is I'm trying to push through on my medium tanks. I'm worried if I use their bonus to research right now on artillery, it'll actually utilize the one that will get me further down the line to Panthers, and I really want to get Panthers. That's really where I'm going right now. And yeah, unfortunately, I cannot intervene in the war. Because, unfortunately, I can't send volunteers until 35%. God, that sucks. One thing I don't like about focuses is that ahistoric focus still has historical bias. Well, that's one part of the problem. The other part of the problem is, okay, so when you look at the generic faction tree, you'll notice a lot of the time that the wars that occur are typically from your national focuses. This is why South America does not really have any wars that take place, because the generic focus tree has no actual focuses to go to war with anybody. You know, I very rarely see anything happen in South America because in order to actually do anything, they have to justify, and they rarely do. Instead, they rely on historical focuses. That's why Japan continuously goes to war with China and invades, and this is the dynamicism here. Not what wars kick off, but how the war goes, and that's not as interesting as some of the other titles that they've done. So are you talking about having it so that the focuses generate as you use your focuses? That's an interesting idea. That would be very interesting. But no, like I said, my issue is structural. I don't think that focuses are necessarily the best way of going about this to begin with. Because even though I've seen mods that use focuses in a very interesting way, it ends up amalgamating... It abstracts a lot that used to actually be represented in Paradox games. You know, decisions, events, a lot of that is now all tied to focuses, which really cheapens the game. And it's unfortunate. Pax Americana prevents a lot of wars in South America. Kaiserreich fixes that. That is true too. Now, that is true. However, like I said, there's a lot less. Okay, another example, for instance, would be like Asia. So very rarely do you see the miners end up doing anything, even if they do remain independent. If you don't have Japan go to war with China, very rarely are you going to see like Xinjiang, Tibet, Mongolia. Even though they have the ability to, they're not going to do anything over in this area. And even if you decolonize, you're not going to see much happening. But, you know, it's just, like I said, a structural issue with how this works. I also have an issue with how they treat rebellions, but that's a different story there. Wait, someone's birthday today? Let me see here. Oh, thanks, Jackie Chain, for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the encouragement. Does anyone play GTA on the Xbox? I do not. I used to actually play GTA San Andreas multiplayer, which is really interesting. So lonely help. Thank you for following. I really appreciate that. Sorry, it's just the name amused me for half a second there. Tibet doesn't exist, courtesy of China. Oh my god. Take care, Evan. Really appreciate you checking out the channel and the game here itself. Thank you. And have a good one. And what else do we have here? What do I think about other Paradox games? I like the vast majority of them, quite honestly. So, I like Victoria 2, but it's got some structural... It has some minor UI issues that were fixed in, like, Europa Universalis 3 and that sort of thing. But I like the complexity. The complexity always drew it to me a fair amount. Yeah, I played San Andreas multiplayer. I played a character called Richard Shrew / Richard Marcello, and on one server I started my own country. It got a couple of different names there. Independent Red County, then graduated into the Republic of Tierra Robata. But on this one server, which was massive at the time there, I was able to work with a bunch of other people in the game, and we seceded from San Andreas and created our own country with like several hundred people. It was pretty fun. What next? Taiwan is an independent country? Oh my god. What is my opinion of the movie Idiocracy? I still need to watch it. I've heard it's really funny, and I've seen a few scenes, and it's been really amusing. It never caught my interest initially, but I definitely want to check it out. That should be in the quotes in Discord. Which one? Oh, I was on Next Generation Gaming. It was originally called San Andreas Roleplay. Then it became Next Generation Roleplay, then Next Generation Gaming. But yeah, I used to know the server owner, Devin. Him and I were not on good terms on a lot of times. It's really unfortunate because I got no problem with him, but I used to be a part of this one Steam group in order to keep updated as to what's going on. Motherfucker kicked me out the Steam group, and I was like, dude, that is petty. Oh my god. But it was that whole country thing was still going, and I did that back in like 2010. It was still going, courtesy of some of the other people that founded it, as late as like last year. I think this year it's finally gone, but I'm not 100% sure because it's gone in and out. Went from like a guerrilla movement back to a country, back to a guerrilla movement, back to a insurgency, etc., etc. Hey man, what is your long-term goal going to be for playing Germany in this game? Usual, historic, or something else? We are actually going to be trying to flip the world democratic, which right now looks like it's going to mean a lot, and I do mean a lot, of boosting and civil wars when we can actually get the tension limit up high enough. Unfortunately, as Germany, typically we would be contributing to the tension limit, and we can't yet. Oh, I do need to make the Bismarck, because we do... And it's not just because you asked. There is actually a reason why I need to make the Bismarck, and it's because of the fact that I need to actually get on over to Asia later on. Hey, thank you for following. It's a very interesting name, but thank you for following. Really appreciate that. But yeah, we do need the Bismarck. We need a couple of other things later on. Hey, thank you for following, Steven93 Godfrey. I think I got that one right. Yeah. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Puppet everyone, that is a possibility. Oh shit. Thanks for following. Canal... I'm just gonna call you Canal. But thank you very much for following. I really do appreciate that. People say the drugs are bad, but Euro Mitsubishi and Turtles came out good. Oh, my god. Serbia OP late game. Yeah, where? That's the only problem. Shit, Romania strong. Yeah, they're doing a number on them right now, and it looks... Oh, thank you for following, Mr. Potato 15. Really appreciate that. Let's see here. I'm actually thinking at this point... Oh, thank you for following, Fantomato underscore? Underscore, yeah. Fantomato underscore. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah. Wow, every time I go to talk. But you know what? I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Goofy Hayden 420. You know, if you're going to interrupt me for something, subscribing or following my channel, awesome reason. And I do appreciate it. Am I going to edit the video or just post it all together? After I stream, it goes unlisted on my channel, so I basically just touch up anything that I need to in the description, the tagging, that sort of thing, and then I post it up. In terms of editing, once I get my new rig set up, I'm going to try and edit more of my content. Oh, thank you for following, Sad Soybeans. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't guarantee that everything's going to be edited, and in fact, it's probably logistically impossible for me to do that right now because I don't have enough hours in the day. Unfortunately, even though I put a lot of work into my channel and everything else there, I don't make enough in order to call this even a part-time job. So until that situation changes, I can't guarantee anything more than what I'm doing. I'm just going to try and up the game. Despite playing a democratic Germany, you could still grab Czechoslovakia peacefully in the national focus tree. Even if they're guaranteed by France, they usually don't reject it. The only problem with that is we went for befriending Czechoslovakia, so annexing them isn't really a possibility. I can go for the Ljubljana Awards and a couple other things here, but I don't know how well this is going to work out right now. I do know we're going to start intervening in the civil wars once we get the tension limit up high enough, but that's a problem in and of itself. And there will be a coup fairly soon inside of Spain, which will be good. So we'll have another Spanish Civil War. Kebab late OP late game. Oh my god. I like it when it's unedited. It shows us more of what happens. It does happen. It does help in some respects with that. But it depends. You know, some people... I think highlight reels would be very good, honestly. I think that people would probably enjoy that. I'm going to take these off the line here for right now, so this way we can start banking some of that. And am I the worst German player? Yes. Yes, I really am. I am absolutely terrible. But still, that was a very excellent pun. It was very funny. David Juan Canajero. Unfortunately, I don't understand Spanish. So it's not that you have to speak English, it's just that I have no idea what you're saying. So I do apologize. Does anyone here play Fallout New Vegas? If so, I suggest you check out the Old World Blues mod. It's by far the biggest overhaul of Hoi 4 ever. Dozens of new nation focus plays. Really? Oh, thanks for following DJN03. Really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. But yeah, I'll check that out. I actually didn't know about that. I heard that Fallout New Vegas, I think it was, had this really big overhaul mod for it, you know, itself coming out fairly soon. You know, they had like tanks, planes, and all kinds of other crazy shit in the game there. It was looking really interesting. I'm curious as to how it's going to go. Hi, you're on a floating rock in space. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that's not bad. Not sure who it's directed to, actually, but, you know, no worries. Alright, let's set these guys up with an actual general here. Luckily, I have plenty of time to set up for an actual conflict here, so I can be kind of lackadaisical about it. Yeah, so far, so good. This is the only problem I have with democratic runs, is that they are very slow, because you can't intervene, you can't really justify, that sort of thing. I guess all of us. I don't know who he's talking to. I do not understand what comes to be English, but the gameplay is fine. Oh, hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. What is the edgiest joke you've ever heard? Well, there's some things I can't say on stream here because it's YouTube and Twitch, you know, so I can't really do that. But I've heard some pretty edgy jokes while I was in college there, usually relating to the gas bill for Hitler. You can kind of infer the rest there. Don't you need a navy to invade Japan? Yes, I do. And that is what I need to be working on after I finish probably this one here, Concentrated Industry in 18 days. Because right now we're building up our tanks because I know we're going to need to go after the Soviet Union. And I'm counting on Britain to do a lot of heavy lifting. Hey, thank you for following there, Consmere. Really appreciate that. But I'm expecting Britain to do a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to Japan later on. And we could scale some of this back here, honestly. We're going to start pumping out destroyers. Yeah, there we go. I don't like stairs. They're always up to something. That's pretty great. Oh, man. I'm okay at Hoi 4, but when I play as the Germans, I get stuck in trench warfare in northern France and western Poland. Well, I'm actually working on it in Circumless Guide. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Kid, Renzo? I think that's Renzo. It's just hard to tell with how it's floating around. But thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Hey, thanks, John Bate. That's really awesome of you. Thank you very much. Someone be my friend. Well, join us on the Discord. You can make plenty of friends there. What else do we have? What does the faction map look like right now? Well, let me show you. It looks like this right now. Ah, Poland's part of the Allies. That's good. So we'll be able to join soon. Not yet, but soon. Admittedly, I said it more than I heard it. Yeah, you did definitely wear that joke out there, Mary Jerry, I gotta say. But, hey, glad you stuck around. Greetings from America there, Turkey. Glad to see you. By 0244? Yeah. Good to see you, man. How's everything over in Turkey? I've always wanted to visit that part of the world. I would subscribe if I hadn't already. Well, I do appreciate that. Right down in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord if you want to join us. By all means, feel free. We got plenty of room over there. We could definitely start going down this now. Not bad. Yeah, I'm over in New York. Glad to meet you there, Pennsylvania. Gotta say, glad you stuck around there, Nuclear Trinity. Really appreciate it. Where is the Bismarck class? There we go. Let's get some Bismarcks out in the water. Actually, you might want to check Poland again. I think they're formed. You are right, actually. They did. Well, we're gonna be overthrowing them anyway, so that's not too big of an issue. The only thing is, I'm gonna hold off on that just yet. I propose to play with the Spanish Republic. Oh man. That could have been entertaining. I should play the Civil War sometime, actually, to be entirely honest with you. I went up for a Hoi 4 game. Join me in his Discord. By all means, yeah. If you guys want to get something together, that'd be awesome. Greetings from California. Oh, no shit. My girlfriend's from California. I go fly out there every once in a while. It's an awesome place. What about your Lord and Savior, Franco? Oh, my God. One of the players that he's an old friend of mine. Over in House United, they do a lot of the games that I've recorded, especially the multiplayer games with a study group there. Franco is one of the guys over there too. He's a pretty chill guy. If you're wondering what the Polish faction translate into is Between Seas. Actually, I never knew that. That's really interesting. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, since Poland is in their own faction, they won't be dragging the Soviets into World War II against the Allies. Actually, I was kind of counting on that, to be totally honest with you. No, I'm going to have to actually use a coup d'etat on them, but I want to be able to actually intervene in it. That's the only problem. Oh, damn. We got a civil war over here. It's just this faction, this tension limit is killing me. Literally killing me. God damn, I should have annexed more territory. Oh, man. you know, I can still go to war with Poland, and they have the protection of Britain, so that's not gonna... Wait, no, they don't, and they can't join the British faction, so I can puppet them that way, and then we could actually do stuff. Yes, I know Francisco Franco from Beyond the Grave. Paco, we fucked the whole country. Oh my god. Well, Hungary capitulated, so... Yeah, that was always gonna happen at some point, though. But let's see here. They are... not part of any faction, I don't believe. Yeah. That's good. Let me check that again, though. Yep, they're independent. Man, nice job, Shrew. A lot of people joining the Discord community. Nice! Hey, I'm glad to hear it. Are you trying to start a YouTube channel? Well, if there's anything I do, feel free to hit me up in private messages on Discord. I'd love to give you a hand, if possible. Oh, any tips? Well, you know what? Probably the biggest thing I could tell you is record your gameplay rather than stream initially, so this way you can practice, and later on, you know, when you're comfortable, get into streaming, and then you'll have plenty of options from there. You know, that's just what I did. It's what worked for me, and working for me is only like 1.6 thousand subs, so you know, don't worry. What else do we have here? Yeah, consistency is really huge. He is right on that one. Oh, thank you for subscribing there. Now we begin the power. Now we begin the power. Okay. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. No, the guy in charge of the Soviet Union is still in charge of the Soviet Union, so. But yeah. Consistency is a huge thing. I am not as consistent as I should be, and I do try, but it's, you know, the biggest thing is that I learned that helped me out the most. Hey, thank you for subscribing there, JB Shaw. Really appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that people are subscribing, watching, and viewing, and commenting on your stuff there. Because they don't have to. No one has to actually watch what you're doing. No one has to comment on it. No one has to like it. No one has to subscribe. No one has to do anything. So, if you treat it like that, like it's, you know, someone doing something, going out of their way to show appreciation for what you're doing there, or just interest in it, it's the kind of mindset that's going to bring you a lot more success. I think, at the very least. I'm still, you know, early here, so it's just my outlook, you know, and it's worked thus far. Where am I from? I'm from New York, actually. Biggest state in the union, as far as I'm concerned. What else do we have here? Anyone want to do a Hoi 4 game in the Discord? In the description, quickly. Oh my god. Hey, thank you for subscribing there, David. Daniel Nelson. Really appreciate that. Almost called you David. I apologize. But yeah, don't get me wrong about it. Oh, thank you for subscribing there, Fiek Dish. I think that's how you pronounce that, and I do apologize if I mess that up, but it kind of threw me off there. But thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Hey, thanks for subscribing there, Speed 2. That's really awesome of you. Really appreciate that. But yeah, the big thing, well, I shouldn't say the big thing. Don't take my advice as gospel. It's just my opinion on it. And also, there's plenty of other people that are tossing advice to you in the comments. I would recommend listening to them as well and figuring out which works and which doesn't. True, I tell you what I love. New York City is bigger than my country. Yeah, it's a little massive. They kind of started building upwards rather than outwards after a little while. What else do we have here? Hey Richard, if you want to do Roblox, at least sell from Minecraft. Yeah, Kim does make me play with her on occasion there. I actually really enjoy the Ancient Warfare mod. That one's really cool. I need to try that again and see what we can do with it. I wish I could mod, because I would. But, yeah. What is my opinion of the alternate history hub? I like the idea of it. I don't really watch it too much. It's interesting sometimes, but I'm not really a dedicated viewer over there. It's not because this content's bad. I there was always going to be an alternate history channel at some point in time. I'm surprised he was the first one to get to it in full truth there, but, you know, it's interesting. I prefer regular historical channels more, and I prefer reading about alternate history. I can't give any quantifiable reason. He himself is a cool channel, don't get me wrong. You know, Cody's an awesome guy there. But it's just, I'm not a dedicated viewer, you know, because I want to know more about the history, so it's sort of like, you know, hey, what if Germany suddenly went democratic after, you know, in the middle of World War II? You know, how would that change things? It's sort of like, well, I want to know more about the actual government of Germany at that time, if that makes sense. I can't quantify beyond that, so, yeah. Even Luxembourg is bigger than my... That's pretty bad. Out of curiosity, which country then at that point? I found 500 hours on Hoi and never been on multiplayer. It's always a good time to try. Biggest piece of advice for you? Get air power. Get as many fighters as you can into the sky there, and it will help you. It may not win the war for you, but it will help you. You should check out Knowledge Hub then. I do actually watch his Knowledge Hub channel, and I found some of the stuff that he's done on there interesting. Like his stuff on Prohibition, I thought was really cool. So check that out, because I'll be honest, I love organized crime stuff there. I think it's really interesting. I've always had an interest in like Prohibition era gangsters. But yeah, I checked that out when I was working on the setting things up for the tabletop that I have, that sort of thing. Trying to get a Hoi 4 MP game going on Truce Discord. Come join us. Yeah, by all means, go ahead. I live in Gibraltar. Oh wow, you're from Gibraltar. Wow, that's gotta be interesting. That's gotta be really interesting. Is that independent, or is it actually still under British control? I do apologize. I'm not up to date on that one. I'm just curious. Players Cuba and take Florida. Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. I was in the World Wars for prehistory 4 years ago? Prehistory. Is that... It just throws me off there a little bit. What is your opinion of Gunther the musician? I'm not familiar with him, so I couldn't say. Oh, come on, George Trejo. Don't... Look, I don't mind if people are like, hey, I'm looking to start a YouTube channel, just, you know... I feel like you're probably trolling, but in the event that you're not, don't, like, advertise your channel in my comments. It's just a courtesy thing. I'm going to ask you politely. You know, even on my Discord, I'm like, talk to me before you actually try and advertise yourself. Hey, I'm glad that new people are joining the Discord. It's honestly awesome. It's an easier way for me to actually reach out to people, so it makes life a lot easier for me and everyone else. And we could speed this up a little bit. Because as of right now, wow, is Russia actually winning? No. No, they will not win that. They are going to lose so badly. Even Italy is like, yup, we're done for. Or, I'm sorry, Greece, not Italy. But yeah. I'm visiting and currently living in Germany. Not bad. I actually have a friend of mine that just came back from a trip to Germany, quite honestly. I'm gonna have to go at some point in time. He has family in Bavaria, so I might go stay with them up in the mountains, up in the Alps. I feel like that'd be pretty awesome. Actually, I'm sorry, it may not be Bavaria. It might be Austria, I think he said. Yeah, because he mentioned the Alps there. Gibraltar is under Great Britain, but we have our own economy, government, laws, border control services, and the only thing the UK really gives us is massive battleships that piss off the Spanish. Oh, God. Yeah, that sounds about right. Don't you guys have some, like, big naval guns as well left over from, like, earlier times there? But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that they were still a colonial territory, but I guess it makes sense. Kind of like the other major things that they have there. We're gonna have to do something about that Italian aggression there soon enough. We have about 105 people. That's pretty good. That is really good, actually. Who here knows about and plays World Conqueror 3? I'm not actually familiar with it personally. I'm surprised too, because normally I'm kind of up to date on this stuff. Especially strategy games. We're going to demand Slovenia. Try and boost world tension a little bit. It's nice here in Berlin. That's good to hear. I've always wanted to check it out at some point in time. We'll take their non-aggression pact. My cousin's husband lived in Germany, so now she out there too. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'd love to go to Germany at some point, but Switzerland, Britain, and Venice are higher on my list. The highest one on my list right now is Turkey. But the unfortunate thing is I want to go to Turkey because of all the, you know, ancient history in the region there, as well as the beautiful Mediterranean climate. You know, I've heard about, you know, you can go sailing and see the Corinthian columns in the waters there and everything else, and it's just like, wow. But unfortunately, there's a douchebag dictator that's starting to take over the country, so it's really going to make life difficult in that respect, you know. I don't like religious fundamentalists to begin with, but when you have a religious fundamentalist dictator that's, you know, starting to rescind a perfectly fine secular government that was operating, you know, at a decent pace there since, like, the end of the First World War, it's like, God damn it, Erdogan, what are you doing? What was I going to say? We have 5 players ready to start for Road to 56.4. Nice! Hey, all the more power to you guys there. The Spanish Empire had 20 million kilometers. That's not even... I don't know if that statistic is including Charles the 5th, the 8th? One of the largest empires in the world when Spain, Austria, you know, the HRE basically, and the Americas were all under one country. Yeah, we have massive cannons on the Rock, which can shoot across the straits. So we basically control the bed. Also, my grandfather used to be an operator of one of the cannons. He never used an aggression. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, you know. Not bad at all. If you want to see Corinthian columns, go and see them in Corinth. I plan to. I'd love to hit up Greece at some point in time, but Turkey's just always been higher on my list because I studied the Byzantine Empire for a little while, so I want to see Istanbul, not Constantinople. What else do we have here? Greetings from a Catholic geek from Kentucky. Well, guten Tag. Glad to see you there, Larry 3. I'm actually, I was raised Catholic myself, personally, ironically enough. But I come from a variety of mixtures, but one of the heaviest influences is German and Italian. So we have a lot of Sicilians in our family there, so natural Catholic influence to begin with. Greece has way prettier beaches and loads more to see. I didn't actually know that. Oh. Focus to conquer Yugoslavia. We might actually just do that. We'll have to see, but that might actually be a major consideration right now. But yeah, I'll have to consider that then, because I always heard that it was kind of on a downward spiral right now because of the debt crisis and everything else. But maybe I'm a little bit behind on that one. Turks all got to show is the remnants of the Greco-Roman Byzantine Empire. Yeah, that's true. Although they do have some other stuff in the region there as well, in all fairness. It's not like that's all they have. Fate of Yugoslavia. Yeah, let's do that first, and then see how it goes. We have that till 41 anyway. What else do we have in here? Every damn country in this world once was big, also Luxembourg. Yeah, well, that's a little bit of a unique situation there. Oh, Istanbul, I've heard, is an absolutely beautiful ancient city there. But a lot of European countries also have a similar situation. Like, the Netherlands has some really ancient cities that I'd like to see at some point, too. Battlefield 1's soundtrack, Oil of Empires, made Turkey seem more badass than it actually is. I've never actually played Battlefield 1, but I do have to at some point in time. I'm like 10 different nationalities, all in Northern Europe, and might be related to Field Marshal Blücher of the Napoleonic Wars. That's really interesting. Oh, man. You know what? A friend of mine actually did some research into the heraldry of, or the hereditary nature of my last name, and apparently... Oh, hey! Thanks for following. I really appreciate that. I have relations... I have a direct relation to the Vice President of the Confederacy, the American Confederacy. I know that much. But I also have relations to the... What do you call them? A bunch of Scottish and Irish kings from way the hell back. What else do we have here? Definitely recommend Battlefield 1, best FPS I've ever played. Have you ever tried Arma? Just asking, you know. I will try out Battlefield 1 at some point in time, but it's definitely interesting. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Let's lower the speed here a little bit. And continue onward. Oh, tercios? Didn't even know we were talking about those. Yeah, they were huge at one point in time. They were the way to fight because, honestly, in theory, they make perfect sense for that period of time. Between the spear line and the actual musketry and, you know, other ranged weapons there, what's going to break through? Like, in all fairness. In that period of time, it makes sense. And that's the thing. A lot of people look back at history and be like, you know, why would someone ever fight in a line, for example, with guns? Hey, thanks for subscribing there, Max Velinets? I'm sorry, it obscured it a little bit there. But thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Oh, shit. No, let me exit this so I can actually see. Thank you for subscribing, Lil Raider42. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, German Republic. We went democratic, and we're going to try and flip the world to feel the weight of our ideology. With force of arms if need be. I want this guy. Hey, thank you for subscribing there, Tora Cat Gaming. Tora Cat Gaming. Oh my god, that's pretty great. Hello. Oh, if you haven't tried Arma, I highly recommend it. Oh wow, thanks for subscribing there, Ryan11561156. Man, I had to get that one out quick before it faded off screen. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Alright, we're gonna move all the way down to here. There we go. This will work. And hopefully they'll just agree to the partition from the fate of Yugoslavia. If they don't, we'll have to go in with force of arms. But we almost have 50%, at which point we can finally intervene in a few conflicts. Which will mean we can start actually overthrowing a few governments here. Yeah, there's a lot of people subbing. I'm actually pretty happy about it. It's really awesome, and I do really appreciate it, guys. Shrew, ever thought about playing a Total War game? I have a Total War series I did, actually, and I want to do another one. It didn't get a lot of views last time, and I'm debating what to do. Hey, thank you for following there, Kegno113. I'm sorry, I butchered that. I really tried. I really tried. How much longer to war? Honestly, depends. If the Yugoslavians accept the partition, then we won't have to go to war with them. If they don't, then we are. And I'm actually going to make preparations as though we were actually going to. So, that's a big thing right now. But yeah, I love... Oh, is it possible to turn that sound down at all? If it's too much, don't worry. It's not that it's too much. I don't know how I can. Let me see if I can do it this way. And I do apologize, by the way. I heard before that's a little bit loud, so let me see if I can do something with it like this. That might help a little bit. I can't make any guarantees until... Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and post a game IP address in here. In the future, I'd say if you guys are organizing the Discord, you're probably going to want to post through there, so this way it's a lot easier. But hey, if you got more people joining, by all means, I got no problem with it. The Discord boom of 17. I'm good with it, you know? I'm more than happy to have more people in the Discord, you know? You guys are awesome. Is that sound better? And thank you very much for following Gokosano. Gokosano. I think I got that one right. Nice. Hey, how you doing there, Shane Birding? Oh, thanks for subscribing there, Furkanmik. I'm sorry, I butchered that. I can't. I really can't. We need more artillery, because we're going to actually fill out... Oh, we can get battleships now. Let's do that. We're going to start building some Bismarck-class battleships. This will get out one roughly every 2 years. We need to do better than that. We also need to raise our... Okay, we're going to have to stop boosting ideology in someone here. 32% versus 47. Hey, thank you for following episode 5. Really appreciate that. We're going to stop boosting in everyone across the board because we need the manpower right now. It's actually a major issue. We can get rid of this in the meanwhile, and that'll get us some back. There we go. You only joined a week ago or so. Yeah, well, we appreciate you sticking around, man. No worries. What else do we have here? Hey, how you doing, Dominic Delilah? Or Delia? Dominic Delia? Please, Yugoslavia, refuse the ultimatum. Yeah, they might, and then they have to face the wrath of the Democratic German Army. If you have activated the correct story, maybe they will send you the Blue Division in the campaign against the USSR. Not impossible. What's up, Ben the Destroyer? Just saw you there. I'm from England, but grew up in Germany as my family was based in Germany, so that's why my grammar sucks, and spent some of my teenage life in Hungary. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, wow, we got a lot of people coming from Germany. Hello to you, Milmar. Glad to see you. Oh, the Quit India movement. That could be interesting. But yes, hello from America. I can see you're Democratic, but is there something else I'm missing? No. By the way, hello, Vlacheno Muadlai. That was not right. I do apologize. But no, the idea is that we went Democratic. We're going to try and flip everyone else to democracy. And that's going to be the big goal for the campaign here. I only joined in the middle of the summer, so I only started streaming in the middle of the summer, quite honestly. So I appreciate you sticking around, like I said. Fika, is Luxembourgish and actually an official thing? That's a good question. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Camilla Ritzel22. By the way, you guys let me know if the sound for the subscriber is too loud there still. I think I fixed it, but I'm not 100%. Larry is Great War mod Great War mod though, and it kind of sucks. I actually haven't had the chance to try it in a long time, so it might still suck. But back when I was checking it out, it was definitely far from complete. I'm from the East Coast. My girlfriend's from the West Coast, so I do fly out there every once in a while. Like, she's actually heading out at the end of October, so potentially at the end of wintertime, I'm going to fly out there and hit her up and, hang out for a while. Because, her family puts me up and that sort of thing, so it's really nice. I'm from Castalla in Alicante, Valencian community in Spain. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. The Great War mod is okay, but think of an official game. Okay. Oh, hello from America there, Canada. Glad you joined us there, Canadian Eagle. Really appreciate it. Fate of Yugoslavia. Alright. We could annex all of it for the last of what we need. Let's do that. Yeah. Come on, accept it. Accept it. You rat bastards. They refused. Damn it. Alright. We're going to reassert Eastern claims, and we're also going to war. This is happening, guys. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to line up a front line right over in here with an armored spearhead drive that we're going to try and get. Yugoslavia is a pain in the ass to actually invade here. We're going to try and drive right into there, so this way we can then come around behind them and see what we can do from there. I'm going to fly back to America during October 20th. Nice! Someone explain what's going on in this playthrough. Basically, what we have going on here is I'm playing Democratic Germany, and we're trying to flip the world democratic. I'm going to be joining the Allies, all that fun stuff there. So, oh no. God damn it. They got me. They got me. They joined the Allies. Can't attack them. Can't be done. Damn them. Oh my god, I hate them so much. They refused, and we can't attack them. Hi, Rich. Just got back and watching a stream after an hour of eating dinner, and holy shit, a lot has changed. Yeah, well, only a little bit. We got Austria. We were going to go to war with Yugoslavia, but Yugoslavia joined the frickin' Allies, which just makes our lives that much more difficult. We can't ask to join the Allies faction yet because it's at 44 out of the 80% that we need. However, with more factions joining the Allies, that's, you know, an interesting situation in its own right. We're going to go after, I think, Poland. That's the new plan. We're going to go after Poland. No, we're not in the... I'm not in the Allies yet, but I fully intend on joining them. So I don't want to screw that up by declaring war and losing the ability to. So that's the reason why it's like, ah, god damn. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll split half these guys off and put them under this command over here. That should help. Okay. I missed a few comments there, so I do apologize. The best way to play as the United States is to finish what we started in the War of 1812. You will be assimilated to Canada. Your syrup, leaves, and bacon will now be a part of us. True, what do you say the average price is to fly from West Coast to East Coast? Round trip, I've gotten it down to between $400 and $600. Oh, we no longer have the effects of fascism defeated. Okay. But yeah, that's been my experience there. And if it's more than that, I don't fly. And usually that's from off season, so like non-holidays and that sort of thing. So yeah. 2 heart attacks have survived. Chuck Norris. Oh my god. Man, USA is so boring and vanilla Hawaii 4. Yeah, it can be. I understand where you're coming from. I like it in multiplayer, but it is slow. Like, there is no denying that. Alright, let's stick you on there, I'd say. What else do we have? You know, it's true, declaring war against people that isn't very progressive. Oh my god. Yeah, well, in all fairness, they are not aligned. We do need to make them democratic. And I'm split, because on the one hand, I could just go to war with them, and I think that's what I should do. On the other hand, I nearly flipped them democratic, so I could do that too. Hello from Luxembourg. Hello from America. Glad to see you there. What do we have here? Lots of people from the Office Republic. Yeah, right? Hello, Jonathan Stolzenbach Kishar. I think I pronounced that wrong, but I'm not 100%, and I do apologize if I did. Are you okay? Have you had dinner? I actually still need to eat after this, but we only have about another half an hour. Yeah, probably about half an hour to go here, so no worries. Welcome back, Max Valence. And we're going to speed up time a little bit here because we are so ready. It hurts at this point not to go to war. So we're going to scale back some of our presence here, because we have overburdened our supply in the region, unfortunately. Let's get this going over here, because we're going to need it. Are the Baltic states aligned? Yes, they are aligned with Poland, which is going to make life very difficult for us. Give an army commander that is the army of East Prussia. Yes, they do need one. You are correct on that. And we'll give them Erwin von Wisselben, I think it is. Oh, you're also from Denmark? Not bad. I gotta visit there someday. I would have ended up if I actually went to the Paradox Con there, but I didn't get the chance, unfortunately. It looked like it was going to be really awesome. The big thing that I'm sad that I'm going to be missing there, personally, is they had the grand LAN party that they were going to do, and they still are doing. It's just that I'm not going to be able to attend. It was too expensive. Even if I could get past that, I don't have my passport, and I have to get that set up. And even if I had both those, the airfare would be, unfortunately, a fair amount, even with the deal that they have. So it's just way too expensive. I entered into a competition to win a free ticket there, and unfortunately I couldn't win. It would have been nice, but it happens. But I always enjoyed EU4, and it was like, oh my god, how could I not go? Oh well. Sorry, I missed some of the comments in here. I'd like to play with someone on multiplayer. Oh, wow. We have a lot of comments going through. I'd like to play with someone on multiplayer. It's so boring alone. What's the name of your Discord? Actually, the Discord is right in the description below there. If you want to take a look, by all means, feel free to join us. It's a direct link. Otherwise, I think it's called something generic, like, you know, Richard True's community Discord, something like that. What do we have here? Okay, take them before Russia so you are closer to Leningrad. I agree. Pay attention to Latvia. You could be attacked from there. I agree with that, too. In the War of 1812, U.S. attempted to annex Canada. I'm going to lower the speed here a little bit while I'm looking. But the British Empire stopped us and attempted to destroy us. We almost got Canada, but we did beat back the British Empire. Beat back is a bit of a misnomer. We won our first major, one of our biggest victories after the war was over in the War of 1812, which was kind of funny. But, you know, it happens. Thank fucking peanuts, finally speed 5. Yeah, I'm sorry. The good thing that was united in the wars is that they are not in Europe. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Take the Baltic states as well so you're closer to Leningrad. I agree. Now, they do have the border over there. I'm probably going to reallocate some of these guys over here into another border guard for right over here. Should only need roughly 3 guys for it, so that should work. At 11 players, game will start soon. Join quickly. Hey, congrats, guys! I'm glad to see that you got so many people together. And where is it all? Circuit the Baltics. I plan to. I very much plan to. My first plan, honestly, is to try and capitulate Poland. Then from there, I'll move forward. What else do we have? Have you Blitzkrieg? Oh, I think that's 2 different things there. But yeah, I'm not as worried about the Baltics themselves. My bigger concern is, well, first of all, supply. How far over am I? Oh, Jesus. All right, let's split this into 2 commands. See if that doesn't help the issue at least a little bit here. We're going to set them up right there. And their objective is going to be to close this gap right here. So this way, we'll actually be able to pocket them once we cut through both these areas, get a huge portion of their army surrounded, and take it from there. Have I ever played Supreme Ruler Ultimate? Yes, I have. I very much like it. It's got some major flaws. It is a deeply flawed game that is very interesting, and I'm glad it exists. And I wish that it fixed a lot of the problems with it. Otherwise, if it did, it would actually potentially be better than Paradox games. But while it's still buggy, while it's still problematic in so many different ways, it's just not going to work. Memel and them fold. Nice. All right, Danzig War. Let's do it. 70 days, and then we go to war with Poland. Will you take Yugoslavia and Greece so you have some land in the Mediterranean? Oh, no. Wait. On who? Who are they guaranteeing the independence of? Hey, thank you for following. Hurricane Irma 2. Oh, my God. But yeah, okay. Luckily enough, Britain and France are guaranteeing us, which is beautiful. Okay. We're not going to die today. That's nice. Yeah, we can't take Yugoslavia because they're in the Allies, and I want to get into the Allies, preferably. You know, that's the major idea here, but I can't get into them until we have 80% world tension, which is insane. So, what's my favorite meme? I made a meme video, or I re-edited, I should say, a meme video a while back there. A couple of meme videos into one. Some of the stuff they have for Lord of the Rings is golden, and I love it. It's absolutely hilarious. Shrew, do you see the chat on the same monitor as Hoi 4? No, I actually have 2 separate monitors. I have one right here that the camera sits on top of, and then my actual game is right over here, which is interesting because this is a gargantuan 40 46, 48. I think it's actually a 55-inch LCD TV that I inherited because no one else was using it at the time. Then I was like, well, I don't have a monitor anymore, and I need something to record in 1080p with. So that's what I got. Meanwhile, this thing over here is a much smaller, older, like, I want to say this is from 2006, the monitor that I'm using over here. Maybe 2008. The rig is getting upgraded tomorrow, but I need to pick up new monitors, and I'll do that once I can afford it. What else do we have here? Will you take it? Oh no, I already answered that one. Richard, do you ever play Crusader Kings 2 on the channel? Yes, actually, I did several Crusader Kings 2 Let's Plays that were very successful for my channel. Like, I'm not setting any records with the stuff that I do right now, but they got a lot of traction on there. Game of Thrones mod is on there. Oh, and to finish off my question, I remember someone asking me a while back, and I answered part of it. I do play Total War on the channel a little bit. I played Shogun Total War a while back there, and I had an absolutely crazy traditionalist samurai only campaign that I played for Fall of the Samurai. It was really, really intense. Like, I could not keep going after a while there because I had a battle that I finally fought. The only survivor was my general. Not my general's unit, not like my general and the garrison. The general was the only individual soldier left alive at the end of it. And at that point I was like, I've done it. I've done everything that I can. I have no army. I have fought people 3 times my size for the last 7 turns and won. And now that I've won again and the only guy alive is my general, I'm going to call it there. But yeah, I would love to do some other Total War stuff. I have done some skirmish games that I put up in the skirmish series on my channel, which you can find on the main page. And I'd love to do some campaigns, but I've just not been sure what people would want to watch. I'm going to start doing more straw polls, though, on the Discord, so if you guys join there, I'd highly recommend it. You know, I'm going to get more feedback as I can because I need all the help I can get, quite frankly. So I really appreciate it. We're going to step up our production of close air support. Germany almost won World War I until the U.S. joined the Entente at the last minute and saved them. I get the feeling a GE victory could have saved a lot of people and a lot of problems down the road. I don't know. There's a lot of problems there. Like, for example, Germany had major issues with rioting, basically open revolt in many situations in their industrial sectors. I feel like it's not impossible that Germany would have capitulated just from internal civil strife the same way that Russia did, you know? So that's a possibility. What else do we have here? When am I going to do a Hoi 4 multiplayer game with Baron? When possible. The games I do with those guys that I record there, that's mainly dependent on when they're available and when I'm available. And recently, I haven't been available. Before that, they weren't available. So we'll see how it goes. Baron's an awesome guy, though. So, yeah. He's actually on the Discord, so I'd recommend hitting him up and be like, play more games. You know, start a YouTube channel, actually. You know, he should start a YouTube channel. He'd do really well with it. Check if the USSR is mobilized. If not, press 1 for more of our human operators. Oh, my God. They're still... They still have the Trotskyite plot purged question mark thing there, so that's good for us at the very least. And we're nearly at Danziger War. We're gonna start setting up our planes here actually, because we should have more of them ready. But what else do we have here? Shrew, love the stream, but it just turned 3 a.m. I have to go to sleep, but I would love to watch something to do with Total War or Crusader Kings. Thanks for the stream. No problem, man. I really appreciate you checking out the stream, checking out the channel. And honestly, I very much want to do like a Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones mod stream. Or yeah, I thought about doing the stream for that. I'm probably gonna do a Let's Play for it. So if that's something you're interested in, by all means, I will see what I can do with it. For Total War, I'll have to see what I can do. I can't make any promises because I gotta see what... It takes a lot of time. So I try to put it towards things that are hopefully going to get some views on them. If I can get something going with Total War that'll actually get views, I'd love to. You know, because I've always enjoyed the series. But, hey, you have a good night, man. And thanks for checking out the stream. And what else do we have here? I just dropped a like. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's honestly really awesome, you know? God, Poland is going to get wrecked so badly. If only I had actually set up the paratroopers beforehand. That would have been the smart thing to do, quite frankly. But unfortunately I did not. Oh, thanks for dropping a like as well, man. I recently started watching this and just realized you Anschluss Austria. How democratic of you. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all. Oh, man. Call it democracy with a twist. No, American 19th century democracy. Yeah, we'll let people vote on what they want to do. Yeah, we'll let people vote on who we should subjugate next. There we go. Invade the Balkans before Poland because they won't be majors. That is true, but the Balkans... Oh, there we go. Danziger War. Where's the war? Okay. It is time. Let's make it happen, guys. Guderian. Oh, you guys don't need to do anything. We need you guys, actually, to set on down there. And we'll have you guys do your thing across that way. And you guys do your thing that way. This should end pretty quickly. All they have to do is punch through. And it looks like they're going to anyway. They don't have much troops, but you will have low organization. Yeah, you're not wrong on that one. Actually, my biggest hurdle here is I didn't get some of the necessary tech that I should have. Which I'm going to be working on right now. But no worries. We want to... Get rocketry. We'll go with that. When you want to watch Richard True play Hoi 4, but you gotta... Yeah, it goes to the territory, man. No worries. Why does Germany always want Danzig? Part of Prussia. That's pretty much the only reason. When you sign the peace treaty, keep Danzig. Yeah, I could do that. That actually makes sense. And I could puppet the rest. Don't get wrecked by Mustache Man and the Polish army. I think we'll be okay. I mean, as it stands right now, we're already pushing pretty hard. They're surprisingly keeping... Okay, maybe I have to manually control this here, because these guys, they just are not pulling it off right now. And they kind of need to be. I need this hole right through here, guys. Let's move you... Oh, come on. Right to there. That should work. Use paratroopers. I would like to. I'm actually researching them right now. Otherwise, I would have had them in use already. But we're pushing them anyway. It's just... It would be a lot faster if we had paratroopers right now. Unfortunately, we do not. We are about to take Danzig, though, which will be very nice. And... Oh, boy. Yeah, this isn't going to go quite the way that I expected. We're making major gains in their center, so we're almost to Lodz at this point. But unfortunately, they're going to start pushing in this way, and that's going to make life a little bit difficult. Democracy's camp puppet just flipped the government. Yeah, I could do that. They'll join the Allies anyway, at the very least, I think. Just wait for Poland to join comment. Yeah, that's not going to happen now. Larry 3 Danzig was a German-speaking important port. That is true. Germany does need all the ports that it can get through most of its history there. So that's probably no small part of the reason as to why they really, really want Danzig. Alright, come on. Give me Danzig. And what if Poland joined the Comintern? It'd probably make life very difficult, but luckily they're in their own faction. When will I join the Allies? When I'm able to, because right now we need to have 80% world tension in order to do so. So I'm hoping that some of the stuff that we do here will aid in that to some degree or another. Alright, so you guys right there, we're actually going to get rid of your line right here. We're going to set you up over here. And I want you to actually do an armor advance right on there. Because apparently we're going to have to capitulate these little guys here before they become a major issue. Which is something I hoped I wouldn't have to actually do. But it's looking like that's going to be the case. Why are they being so hard to take? It's not that they're hard. If you notice, we finally punched through. We're making good gains here. The bigger problem right this second is that we don't have paratroopers, which would make this go a lot faster. Because then we could screw up their lines very effectively. I only need one of you guys to get there, so do me a favor and get there. Where are the other tanks for these guys here? I don't see them. Well, if they get to Warsaw, that'll make life a lot easier for us, and then we can continue pushing from there. Come around and hit those guys as well. What will you do about the Soviet Union? Kill them, most likely. That's my big plan. Alright, we're going to manually control this whole thing over here. So let's start by punching a hole over here. And see if we can walk our way to Kranaus and just have the SS, the motorized divisions there, basically walk behind us and secure the territory as we go along. Paratroopers aren't OP. Paratroopers serve a role that makes them very efficient. But they definitely aren't overpowered. You can kill them pretty easily. Driving into Warsaw like ISP. I wish. Unfortunately, it's going to go a little bit slower for me. ISP is actually really good at both the game and his hilarious commentary. You know, he is a solid guy, quite frankly. Oh, unfortunately, we couldn't stop him. That's alright, we'll punch through there and then we can continue onward. Plan very complicated. It really isn't that complicated per se. The idea was basically connect here, cut down to there, and then create a massive pocket with all these guys inside of it, then take the last few cities, which would kill their army pretty effectively. Now, this complicates things a little bit. Basically, I'm just trying to drive up and capitulate them one by one by one, but that's going to be easier said than done. Now, luckily, we have the guys here in order to actually hold that line. You know, that we have the motorized divisions. So, it helps a little bit. But only a little bit. And we're still trying to get across this river. The rivers are always the hardest part about actually attacking Warsaw itself. But that's why paratroopers are such a wonderful tool. Because you can screw up their lines and create avenues that you can get to a lot easier. And it reduces the distance you have to punch through. Oh, pardon me. And makes it generally a lot easier in order to actually fight the war overall. Belgian lives matter. Oh my god. Well, it looks like we're going to take Kranaus. And from there... Hey, come on, don't give up on me yet. Alright, tie those guys down. Oh, god damn it. Alright, we got Warsaw, finally. Now we need to continue cutting across here and finish in this encirclement over here. It's just that rather than being a nice, simple cut, it's actually going to be more of like a slow bludgeoning downward of these guys here. Unfortunately for us. Alright, didn't actually expect that to do anything more than hold, and unfortunately it did more than hold. So, there is that, I suppose. We nearly have there, though. Don't anger Papa Stalin. Oh my god. You should try Blitzkrieg, maybe. Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to punch a hole, push through with my armor, have my motorized take up the rear, and then work my way through that way. Unfortunately, it's turning out to be a little bit more difficult because of the sheer amount of guys that we're working up against right now. Having hard times with Poland, I can't wait till you fight the USSR. Well, hopefully that won't be as hard. It's not even as tough times. In all fairness, I'm fighting more than just, you know, Poland right now. I'm fighting the Baltic states too, and without paratroopers. So, no worries. The nice thing about being democratic is I don't have to worry, per se. Oh, God, they're going to try and cut me off, aren't they? Those rat bastards. You're supposed to be garrisoning this area. Let's have you move into there. What else do we have here? German living space? Oh, my God. What else do we have here? Build a lot of Panzer IIIs. Yep, Panzer IIIs, we actually have them stocked up. They're going to be coming into play after this war. We have 3,000 of them. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Those are Panthers. Yes, we have tons of Panzer IVs that we're going to be tossing into the mix here as soon as this war is over. I just figured this was a good excuse for me to use up the last of the, well, light tanks that we had available to us. Because, yeah, that would make things go a little bit quicker, too. We're losing a little bit of steam here. We haven't got any shortages of anything, so that's good. You can start marching right on through here, so please do that. Now these guys, what are your current mission? Okay. So they should be going down. No, actually they don't have one, do they? Well, let's give them one. There you go. Much better. And what else do we have? Losing some manpower, eh? A little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like I said, had to grind through them a little bit here. Nothing too major. I do need to get that next recruitment law, though. That'll be next on the list. Try to get military access through Slovakia. The only thing is I think military access wouldn't work, and also Slovakia doesn't exist. Oh, well, they do have Czechoslovakia. I think that's what you're referring to. But I'm pretty sure that you run into issues when you try to invade from a place that has that you have military access from that's neutral. I don't know, I've had problems with that in the past. Anytime I can get paratroopers, I spam them all over the place and spread like cancer, no offense to people suffering from cancer. Now, I do a similar technique there. We basically, you know, plop them down all around the territories that are probably unoccupied, around cities, around battle lines, and it means that all you have to do from there is punch a hole through and you're golden. You can get right through them. Alright, unfortunately, our armor has spread out a lot, which is not really ideal. So let's actually get rid of that front line, establish a new one right inside of Warsaw, and set them to go down towards Krakow, so we can finish off that pocket there. Now we're still having problems here with this. Where are you guys? Oh, that's silly. Alright, let's set you up right there. Your objective is just to get right there. And do that, please. There we go. Rest in peace, manpower. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, India's in the middle of a civil war. That's going to be interesting. India People's Republic versus India. Alright, time to push through here. No need to go that way when we have a perfectly viable route to attack from right here. Try to push right down into Krakow, ideally at the very least. And let's pick up the MG42 here. That'll be nice. Yeah, the manpower is coming as soon as I get the political power to actually do so. Unfortunately, the national focus, among other things, is reducing my capability of doing that right this second. But anyway, no worries. Oh, I just now noticed the time. You know what? I'm actually gonna have to call it here. Hello, Jose Portillo. You unfortunately came in just at the end of this. And Ben, yeah, I went Democratic, and right now we are doing a playthrough, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to call here momentarily, to try and turn the rest of the world Democratic. And right now we're at war with Poland, who, even though they're very close, is technically not Democratic. They're not aligned, so it's justifiable. Anyway, next stream plays Bhutan. Oh my god. Hey, how's it going there, the crazy drunk? Yeah, we're actually gonna be ending here anyway, so I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I wanted to say thank you everyone for joining us. It was really awesome. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. It was really fun, and from there, we're going to pick this up next week, Saturday, 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I'll be going live again with the same playthrough. We're going to finish this out, and don't worry, the Polish are going to get what's coming to them. Especially once I actually get the enough points for the manpower there, which should be coming up pretty soon, because honestly, it's only going to cost us 150, so no worries. But they are slowing us down pretty effectively. Yeah, how's their division count here? 73 to 114 versus our 166? Yeah, it's about even. That's not bad. But yeah, anyway, so, how am I getting wrecked by Lithuania and Poland? Like, really? Well, in all fairness, number one, I'm not that good at this game. Second of all, let's not forget Estonia. You know, that they are a major contributing factor. But yeah, anyway. So, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah, I'll see you all next week. Well, except for the videos I'll be posting during the week. Yeah, we'll have single player stuff from Monday to Thursday before we do our next community game, and then this will pick up on Saturday. So, yeah. Take care, everybody, and thank you again for joining me. Adios.